Gaming is massive. Esports is global. From Seoul to Rio de Janeiro, from small bedrooms to massive arenas. From your very first game to your biggest victories. This is our world, our digital city. Millions play, millions watch. A global movement shaped by players, driven by passion, powered by its culture and community.
I am Arminas, head of Reloader. We love gaming, we live esports. Welcome to our venture.
We're Team Reloader. Our mission is simple. Give players what they've always deserved: rewards, respect, and recognition. This isn't just about features, it's about the culture we live and the community we build. Play more. Chase goals. Build your legacy.
Lock, load, and reload. It's Reloader. Things are just starting.
Gaming is massive.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Ascend Breakpoint series. I am K-Man, joined by Zach again. Zach is back, everybody. We have an absolute banger here in the lower finals. I mean, this is going to be a huge matchup. It is obviously GGEZ coming up against the RAD Syndicate, and I'll tell you what, there was some banger games yesterday. Finally, we saw somebody be able to take down the RAD Syndicate. They looked unbeatable all tournament, but in that upper final, they finally were felled. So this is going to be a little bit of an attempt at a revenge run for themselves. But I mean, Zach, GGEZ, they have their own beef with RAD Syndicate from the earlier match in the upper bracket.
Yeah, 100%. Those two teams did face off, and at that point, I think it was RAD Syndicate to come out on top. But rematch the lower bracket, it's always going to be banger. This time around, no second chances. So best of 5 as well. It's going to depend on who has the deeper map pool, who has the better strats going into this one. It's definitely going to be super exciting, and I'm really excited to see these two teams face off again. Before we head into the game itself, let's take a look at the bracket to kind of see how we got here, as well as the tournament format, so we have a little bit of a better idea about the pathing that came through here.
Yeah, so obviously we did have those two qualifiers earlier in the year, October and November, as well as very recently that last chance qualifier, the Breakpoint Last Stand, where half the teams did make it through in that area. But I mean, look, I got to be honest with you, GGEZ and the RAD Syndicate, they've been very dominant throughout this entire series. All the way through, even the other qualifiers making deep runs. So both these teams are no stranger to high pressure and finals.
100%, yeah. Like, to add on to your point, I think that they're very experienced players on both of these teams, and it's been a long journey to get to this championship for sure. I mean, you've been able to win the qualifier, or you've been able to make it to the last stand. It doesn't matter, but the 8 teams have come down to 3. It's going to come down to which team between these two is going to be joining them in the grand final tomorrow. And I think it's me, Vico, of course. They're going to be that first team who made it through that upper bracket. I think you were there for that game, man, yesterday. It was a extremely exciting game, 100%. And
yep.
I mean, you really brought the hype too. So I'm really excited to see who's going to be playing against it's me, Vico, tomorrow. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We still have today's lower final to get through. So let's take a look at the map that's coming in for today. Best of 5, of course, heading into the series. And I'm really excited to see what is going to be coming up, what map's going to be banned out and stuff. And like you said, these two teams, they faced off before. They've also played multiple other teams on the course to making it to this lower final. Pearl and Abyss going to be taken out of the veto immediately, and first map is actually going to be Kurod picked by GGEZ. Now, I know GGEZ have had a great run on this map too far, but I would say RAD Syndicate haven't looked too shabby either.
Yeah, I don't think the RAD Syndicate have played in this bracket in particular. They have played a bit of Corrode in the past, but I don't think they've been, asked the question in the upper bracket on this map. So certainly it's going to be interesting to see what they bring out. We obviously know, I mean, GGEZ, that match yesterday, like, DC, it was the DC show. That's all it was. 27-10 on the chamber. Everyone is going to know about it. The teammates as well were getting behind, rallying around the chamber. And we did actually interview DC last night, and he said it was one of those games in which everything worked. Like, it just fell into place. So look, if they can have a performance like that and the rest of the team can also go to that next level, the RAD Syndicate are definitely going to be in a little bit of trouble here against this map, because I mean, they just had so many answers last night against Asterisk. But for RAD Syndicate, as we said, they've only lost to SB Vico, and that was in a very, very narrow finish at the end. It was an absolute banger. It was going back and forth. We thought it was going to go OT. We thought there was going to be a lot of crazy stuff going on. But, I mean, look, obviously, both these teams now have had that sting of defeat, like I said at the start, right? They both are looking to avenge themselves and go, no, okay, that was a fluke. The teams that beat us doesn't count. We get another chance. We're going to run it back. We're going to prove we are the best. And that is what it's going to be about tonight. Obviously, we are now in our top 3. So, I mean, that just shows how good these teams are. It came from about, I think it was 120 something teams all the way down to the top 3. That's how you know that these guys are the best of the best. And we are going to see it here today. I mean, obviously the second map that we will talk about in Haven is a map that both teams have played quite a lot of. I'll be honest with you, I think the RAD Syndicate probably a little bit of an advantage there just because of how clinical they've looked. I mean, they were 4-0 until last night where they did actually lose to SB Vico on the map, but they're 4-1 and 13-10 is their only loss. So, I mean, that is going to definitely be an absolute fortress to break into. So GGEZ winning map 1 is going to be essential.
100%, yeah. To build on Haven as well, even the map that they lost, right? I think they had like an abysmal defensive half. I think it was something like 111 or 210, if I remember correctly, in their game against SB Vico. And they managed to make the comeback on the attacking side. So I hope that they've been able to go through the WODs and kind of fix the holes that they had on the defensive side today, because I'm sure that GGEZ have done their analysis and they're ready to kind of exploit those mistakes. So RAD Syndicate hopefully have done their homework to be able to kind of make sure that this map continues to be dominant run for them, especially since they are starting off on that defensive side where they've looked the most vulnerable. But of course, the last map going to be Sunset here, and I think that this map as well, we've seen weakness coming in from the RAD Syndicate, and especially in their bracket run until they got knocked down. So I think it's a map that, again, because there's so much WOD footage available, I'm sure that GGEZ have been able to put together a plan. Sorry about that. Put together a plan possibly to try and deal with it. But more than that, I'm also excited to see what the agent compositions are going to look like for all of these maps, because I think both these teams, like you mentioned, they were able to bring out the chamber and a couple of other slightly off meta picks that where players are leading into like their comfort zones. And I mean, like you said, if people are able to lock in like DC did yesterday, it is definitely going to be an extremely tight match. I think it's going to depend on who locks it first, if you want to be like make it as simple as possible.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, it's interesting to note as well that 3 maps picked in this event so far are the 3 most played maps. Sorry, 2 of the 3 most played maps in this tournament so far. There's been 64 maps in total. 22 of them have been on Haven, almost half the maps. So that's what I mean. Everyone has played Haven. Everyone knows how to play it. Sunset is the 2nd most played map as well. So that'll be in the decider. Corrode is equal 3rd. So, I mean, yeah, that just shows that this is a very comfortable map pick. I really don't see, necessarily an advantage one way or the other. But, I mean, GGEZ looked next level on Corrode last night. If they can have anything close to that, they're 100% a chance. But, the other thing, I wanted to highlight is with SB Vico, we did a little player interview when they actually beat the RAD Syndicate, and they were talking about just trusting each other and having that trust in their teamwork. And that's going to be really essential tonight. I think that, obviously both these teams have had that loss, but they've got to trust each other to go, we're going to bounce back, we're going to do our job, because if you're worrying about another person's job on the map, it means you're not focused on your own, and that's where you can start to see those cracks in defense especially. I mean, we've seen it all tournament. Attack has been the way to go, right? We've seen teams just dominate, coming out on attack, winning 10-2 halves. Most of those are on attacker side of halves. So whoever can trust each other and hold the line as a defensive unit, I mean, that's going to be essential, because, I mean, as they always say, and doesn't matter what, if it's esport or just regular sport, defense wins championships.
Yeah, 100%. I think that, like you said, the defensive side is where a lot of these teams have looked vulnerable. Even our first round finalists, it's Vico, it's where they seem to struggle. And RAD Syndicate as well. They've had the same problem as well. So, yeah, hopefully they've been able to kind of fix that heading into this one. Although, I mean, it's fun to count defensive half. I don't think it's fun to play necessarily, especially if you're on the 2 side. But, it's still fun for us at the very least. But I think one more thing to kind of note here is that a lot of the teams here are playing the true spirit of an off-season event. I think that, you brought up interviews, right? What I think in the day before the day before, yeah, we had to interview It's Me Vico after their win in that upper bracket, and I think they were just saying like, yeah, no one's even IGLing, we're all calling, we're all like playing whatever the heck we want, you know, we've been putting our duelist on Sentinel, we've been putting our Sentinel on smokes, it doesn't matter, they're just messing around here and having a good time while we play. And I mean, that kind of shows, right, that camaraderie is what got them to that grand final. Like, sure, they might not have preferred strats, they might, I mean, they're still working on it, of course. I'm not going to say that they're completely just chilling, but, you know, the fact is that they are playing for the fun of it, and you can kind of see that in the way that they go for the game plan as well. They're really just vibing, and I think having that kind of a chill mindset is really going to be helpful heading into today. Like, yes, the stakes are high, but also the point that you said about being able to trust each other and play off each other, I think that will probably be connected with this as well, because you want to be sure that you're in a good mind state, you're kind of ready for what's happening. But talking about readiness, I think we are ready to head into Corrode. I have worker production that we have our agent picks ready to go here for map number 1. So let's see what people fear. The way that DC was playing, that was basically an additional duelist, and I think this entire team for the side of RAD Syndicate, I think we saw a lot of individual pop-off moments as well. I think there was one round where Lightning Fast just absolutely bodied everybody. It was like 1v3 or 1v4. So a lot of individual gameplay coming in very strong here. And yeah, RAD Syndicate going to continue to lock in that chamber pick, continuing to go in for that double controller, going for that mid control. But look at this. GGEZ, the double duelist coming in here. The Reyna. Oh man, that's going to be spicy.
I believe the teams may have been on the wrong side though for the overlay there. I apologize. I think because DC is playing for GGEZ, I was saying last night. I think that the names are pushed around. But as you do say, the RAD Syndicate picking that double duelist, trying to go in with Garv on that Neon. I mean, Garv, how do you forget about Garv? I mean, the impact on Sunset especially was insane. We were seeing some absolutely phenomenal gameplay in that upper final last night, where it went to the 3 maps. But I've got to say, that Sunset map, that's where we really did see that Neon diff coming out early, and that is going to be essential if they want to go all the way in this one. Obviously, we do know Tricky on that Reyna is going to be very interesting there, because I mean, it's kind of a strange dynamic between the two teams and between a lot of the teams here. Some people are leaning into the Waylay, some people are leaning into the Neon. The Neon, the advantage you have early days especially, is you can take the space a lot quicker. You can test that sight line, especially towards mid or B main, extremely quickly and get on an off angle. So that can be really, really difficult for your team to deal with if you don't have a Neon. So obviously the Waylay and Neon kind of balance each other out in that respect. So yeah, I'm interested to see how the team's going to play around each other, how they're going to adapt as they get into the game. But yeah, certainly different team compositions always makes for a good matchup. We've seen the Viper Omen played plenty of times as well. It's effective, especially for that mid control, and I'm really keen to see them play around it.
100%. And I mean, I also, to add on to the points that you made about the Neon versus Waylay here, I think Neon also gives you that additional rotational capability, but Waylay, on the other hand, you can get through a lot of detail. Either way, they're going to be heading into it right now. It seems like there's going to be a lot of pressure put towards the side. Early Prowler to push Deadly off of this sideline here right now. So the rest of the team going to be heading in, but Garv is the one to find that first pick, gets that headshot opportunity, and he shares and the Headhunter in conjunction just makes so much damage. Holy though, trying to make a fight out of it, but the eliminated angle is pretty high and Deadly with a 3K to be able to close things out here, and the first round goes to the defense.
I'll tell you what, Coley is putting on a show there. 3 kills on the Omen, but it was all about Deadly. Garv opened things up, lovely headshot as well in the entry. But yeah, I mean, Deadly just played around the site beautifully, using that recall there, the teleport to get back up into heaven. He's going to put it there yet again, and the rendezvous there just to get to safety was beautifully played. The headhunter from heaven gets the job done. So the RAD Syndicate starting very nicely here with a pistol round win.
It's a good start for sure. I mean, looking at the buy here, Marshall aggressively towards mid. Garv going to push the Viper wall to try and get a little bit of space out low as well. So double sniper towards mid here. It does seem like they want to go in for an 8 push. They're waiting for perhaps an attack coming in from this defense side. The flash coming through, the peak is there, but there's still enough bullets for the first kill to come through, and they're really WPing this, able to find that first kill. Synergy gets the entry, and that's going to be an upgrade as well, but here comes a swing in. The Marshall sliding into the ends there, and even a cheeky little knife, just going to be the only left. Start with the 3K. The knife to really really nice start for RAD Syndicate. Only really there's Paradox, and they should be able to pick the Spectre up. So yeah, that's gonna be a pretty nice round.
Yeah, could have led to something there. Paradox just not paying attention to the ammo count and, you know, got a couple of picks on the spray down, went for it again, only had 1 or 2 bullets left. So not enough to get the job done, but no harm, no foul. They only lose the 1 player. They recover the weapon, as you say, and they will be going in towards this bonus round looking very healthy. I mean, we've even got an operator online early in round 3. So an operator, a marshal, and an outlaw, the triple scope in effect.
Yeah, they've got a lot of deep sight lines to start with. Again, just this constant mid-aggression and info that they're getting, kind of neutralizing the effects of that Viper wall. Deadly playing a cheeky little angle in the smoke, trying to get headshot. Guard gets spotted out, and oh, there we go. That's the DC that we know and love here. Able to get that crucial opening kill right now. And again, that's just information given towards mid. So far, there's been no noise made towards this A site. You know, they've been prowlering, they've been taking space, but now it's just it seems like it's going to be a little bit of a default play. They want to go further in, though. Operator, though, yeah, it's not going to get pushed off the ankle. If they push this, they're going to have to be very careful. But so far, at least, it's just been passive from this attacking side.
Yeah, the space just not being found anywhere else. A little bit of pressure from DC, but as we know, need something else off the back of it. Can't just be on the one player, and there it is. Trinity gets the entry. Deadly goes down. The site is now opened up. The missed operator shot, is that going to cost them?
100%, I think so. That's also an operator that this attacking side can pick up and use for the upcoming rounds here. It might just be a save call from the rest of the squad, or at least a call to try and find some exits. You know, you might want to keep maybe the outlaw if you can pick it up, but aside from that, yeah, it might just be a better call to try and die to the spike instead of giving ultimate orbs away to this attacking side. Look at this though, post plant absolutely impeccable. Nobody giving away location. You know, you're being proactive, but you're also not giving away free picks here, and that's definitely going to help, of course, for the side of GGEZ's economy. At least Tricky able to find one. Get the hell out of Dodge, but there's still going to be 4 more players left. Paradox on the flank, looking to find a little bit more, maybe a couple of exits. It's all going to be a question of timing, and Lightning Fast is the one to find it. Only going to be 2 players left. Tricky and Yubi, what more can you do? There's no time left on the clock, and both of them opt to go down to the spike. First round on the board for GGEZ.
1 missed shot is all it takes for GGEZ to open things up there. That is the margin of error we are dealing with. And if you don't want to give an operator any one player in this tournament, it's DC. I mean, he's just picked up an operator for free. This guy with the scope weapon is one of the most dangerous players on the server, hands down. So I'm expecting this Chamber's presence in mid to only be amplified after that round. A great opener there over towards the B site. Despite the Prowler not clearing it, still the awareness to just be rifle up and clear that angle. Really well played by Trinity.
Talking about DC, though, you mentioned the operator. He's already able to find an opening. Not even 5 seconds. 5 seconds in the run, not even that much. And I mean, of course, it is a little bit of a weird buy here. Definitely, of course, opting to play with just the Headhunter, getting a bit aggressive towards B, able to clear out most of the people. He knows that that's the case, but DC again, just ready for these. They know DC likes to get proactive on this side, and DC continuing to just be an absolute menace right now. This holding pattern on these rounds just paying off so big for GGEZ here, and now it's just going to be Paradox to 1v5. I don't even know if you'll be able to save, because the economy is so good for GGEZ at this point that they could definitely go in for a little bit of a hunt.
100% they could, but it's just going to be mid being held down at the moment by this operator. I mean, you know, I was alluding to what is it going to cost them. I wasn't talking about the current round. I was talking about the follow-up. The operator dropped into the hands of DC, and that is 3 clean shots with the operator. That is a guaranteed round win every day of the week. GGEZ now working their way into the game, 2 all there. And look, this mid control, like I said, it's so important that the Neon can get that early line, but when you're going up against an operator, it's a different story altogether, especially one you can get for free. I mean, DC, his economy is going to be absolutely snowballing here. So like you said, players may go to hunt here, and it should be able to be recovered. Got to be careful though if DC gets up too close and loses that operator, but I don't think he's just going to play the safe game. Let Paradox save, and that does equalize the score as the spike ticks down. So the B side has been opened up twice here, Zach, already. There needs to be a little adjustment.
Not just I mean, the B side has been looking a bit vulnerable as well, because, like you said, they've been able to get those picks for free. But now it's a big problem because you brought up DC with the operator, and I think so far, last round we kind of saw a taste of what this mid is gonna look like. So far, RAD Syndicate have been playing a little bit proactive. They've been trying to take space down on mid, but it just hasn't. It's being completely countered right now by the way DC is playing, and he continues to be a menace with this operator. Economy kind of broken here for the side of RAD Syndicate. Sheriffs in hand for most players. There is that one Phantom that Paradox was able to hold on to in the last round. I think that he might have spotted out a player there. But there comes the dark cover. The rest of them, again, they're pushing through, and this time around, the timing might actually be there for Dudley.
I like the awareness, though, of GGEZ there. Map knowledge here. Obviously, you do have Garb here with this Marshall and lands a nice shot, but he was one orb away from that overdrive. He may not need it. Never mind. We're going to hit a second Marshall shot through. DC gets a trade on a flanking Deadly, but now it's a 3v4. Now things are going to sort of meander a little bit. The time is going to tick down a bit, and GGEZ is going to look for a weakness. I'll come back to that point in just a little bit, but for now, it's top mid control here, looking to split potentially in towards that B side as Garb is put under more pressure.
Garb gonna rotate over towards the site itself. Like you said, there is that overdrive available. But the rest of the team, they're still going for these holding patterns, expecting the conversions coming in from RAD Syndicate at any point right now. GGEZ though, methodically working their way into the B site. There's nobody really home except for Garb, although there is this Reyna towards B main. So there's the possibility of a crunch in play as soon as that spike goes down. Meanwhile, though, the operator's still holding down this rotational angle towards mid. If you're gonna be coming through this, it's gonna be a very rough angle. 15 seconds left on the clock. They're able to get the spike down. So now all they have to do is play that post plant.
The worry DC has here is no rendezvous. Can't just TP out. So got to hit this shot. Got to make sure it doesn't miss its mark. It's going to be so crucial here. Steals the rifle. Hits one shot. Has to try and get out. Tries to re-aggress. It's now a 3v2. The defense have numbers.
They do indeed. But however, the clock is still on this defender side. Beautiful paranoia, forcing Colby to push up aggressive, able to get one. Paradox at least get the trade, and here comes the Neon ult. 1 HP on Garb. Paradox starting to defuse here, just trying to keep the pressure of the stun, actually keeping things alive right now. But Lightning Fast gets the kill. The problem is the defuse is just stuck. All Garb had to do was keep Lightning Fast away from the angle. And sure, Lightning Fast able to get that final kill. It's going to be small consolation. They're not even going to be able to retrieve the operator, although they have enough money for a buy if they want to invest in it. There's also that tour de force available this round, but really nice Thrifty to come out of the side of RAD Syndicate. They look so methodical, and of course those two huge Marshall shots from Garb to start things off. He made it look like an operator right there.
Absolutely, very well played. I was going to say the start of that round, contesting A and B main is, I love that idea, denying Garv any chance at getting an ult for free. Instead, he just lands two beautiful headshots and it comes out anyway. So well done to Garv there. As I said in the pregame, it's a player you cannot forget about. The presence of this Neon is felt each and every time the RAD Syndicate step out to play. So we do see a different approach here towards the A side. It's going to be the tour de force in the hands of DC and just a regular operator in the hands of Deadly. So those two chambers could clash here in this push up to the side as we do see Elbow get taken.
Oh, wow. There you go. Operator increases. Tour de force, you called it, and DC comes down on top with not one but two huge kills. You being able to find one immediate refrag to come through here, and that is going to possibly open up the site if they want to go for it right now. 50 rotating towards mid. There's going to be the Reyna. Just the angle being held though by DC. Perfection from this chamber. And again, Garb left alone in a 1v4. They know exactly where he is as well. Lightning Fast hold the position. Now, 4 players left alive. Gotta be peeking into the angle, but DC on the job here. 4 rounds for the chamber. And yeah, you know, I guess put all of your ability to go against. That's exactly what you do. Just for perfect gameplay, like perfect positioning and perfect shots.
Yeah, these shots are just so deadly. I bet a headshot there as well on towards Tricky, going for that crouch swing, just precise aim at its finest. I'll tell you what, DC's got to be one of the deadliest, if not the deadliest operator user in this region at the moment. The shots here are landing and everything is going his way. 10-3 at the moment. But one thing I've got to say as well, Zach, is, you know, there's got to be more behind it. It can't just be the one-man show that we saw yesterday. We've got to see some layers. We know how good RAD Syndicate are as a team as well.
100%, yeah, and I think the rest of the RAD Syndicate, they're starting to build that momentum, but every time they get on that board, it's been very difficult right now. Again, multiple players pushing out towards B. They make noise like they're rotating, but Deadly is on the angle. Yeah, so nice little play there to give the impression. But DC, a little bit paranoid about it, not wanting to make that mistake. Meanwhile, the spam towards mid actually connects. It might not have found a kill yet, but two of these players brought down to such low HP right now as they hold through mid. The problem is that there's just no money left in the bank here for RAD Syndicate after they lost that previous round. And GGEZ, on the other hand, they're just absolutely rolling in it, starting to build up on these major ults as well. They have the conversion pots 2 or 3 away from that Viper script as well. Here comes the peak though, and yeah, I mean, look, you have an operator that's like a gun that you don't even need to hit a headshot in, but it's just coming through for free. They also use the wave utility to try and get through gun. Sliding to the end there, able to at least find one for himself, but the counter trades towards mid. Trinity and RVK have been holding all this time, and they're able to find a double kill for their own, leaving just Yubi and Paradox.
Yeah, you see Paradox there, just getting past that trademark, able to walk in towards attacker spawn. Don't know if it's going to come of anything, but Yubi up in towards heaven, gonna get his head taken off. So we'll see if Paradox can at least find an entry, an exit kill here, and maybe pick up a rifle to do some more damage. And we'll actually see RBK chooses to leave the fade alone. Okay. This will be interesting here because that does mean that DC is at risk of losing the operator, and this is huge. Great trigger discipline here by Paradox, if I'm being honest, because if you can take this operator down and not let it be recovered, that is going to be a big, big cost, and we're going to see the shots come out.
Oh,
He's not going to find it, though.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a little bit of a disaster. DC survives, and that is going to be another round on the board. GGEZ doing really well. One other thing, though, I do want to mention about that round, setting things up there, is the way they kind of fake pressure towards that A site. RVK was left on his own there with the Prowler and just baited out an open smoke there. Just a little bit of utility, makes the defense a bit curious, denies that information, and that's one less smoke to use for the side hit. So I really like the way GGEZ are pushing and pulling on this map.
Yeah, they're definitely also the way that they're summoning these rotations. It seems like the way that they're playing, it's not giving too much information away to RAD Syndicate, kind of forcing them to go in for those peaks. The nothing but information. That's a nice little haunch. Operator gonna be holding down the angle, but the shot misses, and that's gonna let Waylay get through off the back of the conversion pots. Through the force in the hands of Deadly still. Yubi there for the backup right now. They kind of gotta win this round, seeing that they've invested so much in it. But alright, Stacy's coming through on the site itself. Deadly still looking to be a menace. The start cover keeping them from entering the side at the very least, but looking to start as a team.
Yeah, early pressure from the Neon as well. Ran all the way through B as well, so the whole map is clear. The attackers are pinched in now. This is great map control established by the defense. The RAD Syndicate have mid and a main clear for any sort of rotate here, and that is going to enable Deadly to take a more aggressive line and just keep taking space. At the moment, GGEZ are waiting for some aggression. We can see the exploration towards mid here is probably going to be the first point of contact. They are just tucking in. It looks like a little bit of space is being found from the shadows. Paradox holds the line, though, and that's the spike.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, lightning fast off, at least holding down this rotation.
30
seconds. Find one, but like I said, spike drop, 4 players watching, and I mean, we were talking about the chambers. DC did it. DC might be ahead in the kill count, but Deadly comes up on the board here. I like that little bait and switch play. Paradox holding that off angle, and you know, once they clear the chamber TP, they try to swing in, but Paradox ready for it to play, and that is gonna be what enemy them the round. Of course, Garb chiming in with the flank to take out DC. That's gonna be the opportunity as well. So yeah, really, really nice round coming in from RAD Syndicate. They also keep a lot of players alive there, so that's going to do wonders for their economy, which has kind of been struggling in this game so far. It's also going to take, since they managed to take down everybody in that round, it's also going to do a little bit of damage to the eco that the side of GGEZ have slowly been building towards. They need to win a couple more rounds in a row to finally break it down, because I think it's the RAD Syndicate who are kind of stuck in that awkward economic cycle of having to save and then buy and then lose the round and save again. But with that round win with 4 players alive, it's going to do them wonders.
Absolutely. I was kind of curious, though, as to that from the shadows being used from the Omen. It turns out, I watched it on the replay there. It was actually a sound bait. The attempt was to use the Omen ult, make it sound like they're all rotating off towards the B site, have the chamber hold the line, Deadly able to try and take a pick early. Unfortunately, the shot missed, but Paradox comes back in from the shadows, straight back onto the site and gets 2. So that was a lovely little bait and switch attempt there from the Omen. A creative use of that ultimate as well. I mean, obviously it's talked about as one of the, the less powerful ultimates. Just teleport, can't do too much. Little trick plays like that certainly can open up opportunities, as the defense just found out there. 4 apiece, and it's all square.
100%. Heading into this round, though, I mean, okay, a little bit of a tech pause gives us more time to yap. All good. I am excited for this op versus op battle. Finally, both players going to be purchasing it, and they're probably going to be going to the head-to-head. Remember, DC already used one tour de force, so he's already halfway to the second one, which is kind of insane to me, but probably good if you are a GGEZ fan. He's been just popping off this game, 13-4 right now, but on the opposite side, the rest of the squad is also starting to kind of get going right now. I think this tech pause was also very well called, I would say, by GGEZ because, yeah, RAD Syndicate won the round, but they want to kind of keep them from getting the momentum that comes with that win. They also want to kind of reevaluate things. I feel like now that they know that there's going to be probably an operator in the hands of Deadly, I feel like they kind of know the expected places where he plays, usually towards B. Sometimes he likes to play aggressively towards sites instead of going towards mid more. So, yeah, I feel like we're going to be seeing a head-to-head op battle on that A side, looking at where everyone's standing, but I think it's going to be a bit of a slower attempts coming in from GGEZ so far. I mean, they've been really putting RAD through their paces, catching them on the rotations, and just completely able to be a menace in general in terms of their positioning. RAD Syndicate, I think the last round was the first round that we really saw them get that map control with the flank coming in from Garv. So I think the goal here is to kind of deny that extra space if you're a GGEZ player.
Yeah, I do agree with you. It looks like there is some sort of a pace change, at least being talked about in that tack pause because of the way the players are positioned. What's kind of been interesting though is GGEZ haven't necessarily been too quick. It's more been the RAD Syndicate fighting for space, and those duels that are taken early have led to openings around the map. That's kind of enabled GGEZ to take a bit more space, be a little bit quicker. I don't necessarily think it's, been a case of the attackers setting the pace at the moment. It's more just been them reacting to the fights around the map, and they've done it very well to their credit. I mean, we've seen there they won 4 out of 5 rounds just after losing the pistol, and I mean, they've evened up the game very nicely. Maybe that tack pause was about them trying to get some sort of control on the pace of the game. Because like I said, it really hasn't, they haven't done anything necessarily wrong. They've just reacted to what their opponents are doing. But there could be a deliberate plan here to try and set in place, make the players just a little bit nervous here. Maybe make the RAD Syndicate just stew a bit on the idea. Because we saw it there even in that last round, right? Obviously, Paradox used that from the shadows as a bait play, like I said, a bait and switch, and it really worked out well. But maybe GGEZ want to slow it down and keep forcing the RAD Syndicate to do something like that. Make them come to you, because that has been giving them the most opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, to build on that point, I think so many of these rounds where we saw DC get those multi-frags, like you said, it was off the back of RAD Syndicate going on like a push or an exploration spree and them just being completely shut down. So I think the only problem here is that a lot of these rounds that GGEZ have been playing, they've been running down the clock a lot. I think at least a couple of the rounds when they got the spike down, it was about like 15 seconds or something left on the clock. So maybe RAD Syndicate, they could try to play a little bit more patiently because they know that GGEZ likes to play solo, like you said, so far on this map. And I think what has really found them success, apart from the bait and switch plays, have been these off angles, have been kind of like these anchor players doing their best. Garv has just been a force towards mid. Despite that Viper wall, he's able to kind of counter it thanks to the aggressive pushes that they're going towards. But with DC, being a menace on that chamber, that has been stalled in its tracks. So you kind of want to figure out where else on the map can you take that space without risking your life too badly. And I mean, we've seen B and mid be pushed a lot, but A has been pretty chill so far. Nobody's really been going aggressive on that particular side.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it has certainly been interesting to see the players, contesting this mid space, especially because, as you say, the Neon is a perfect counter towards that Viper wall. But when you got the Rainer there as well, I mean, it's kind of just two players that are trying to take individual fights and get those picks and get out and dash around each other. It's not so much layered with any more team play. I wouldn't mind seeing potentially, instead of the Rainer playing in towards A link, maybe play the Omen there, have the Paranoia ready to help out the Neon and really challenge that operator line as well for the defense. That could certainly be something that they can have set up, or even with the Omen being positioned on the B side right now, use that Paranoia for B main, allow the Neon to really slide out and actually take that space, because other than when it's just been a straight up flank, the RAD Syndicate haven't really taken much space on that B main line at all. It's kind of been sitting back on site, maybe playing next to the box, and it's been a very reactionary angle. If they can get a little bit more proactive and really take that space away, it could free up the rotations.
I think the rotations have been really stalled here by GGEZ just because of the sheer amount of map control that they're slowly working on. I kind of like that from them. They don't going for like those fast and heavy hits we've seen on a lot of road takes. I think they wait for it. They wait to try and get the picks. They wait to try and get the info. Once they know, for example, that there's 3 players or 4 players towards A and mid, they go in for that full B hit. And even if, you know, the anchor is able to get one, they've been doing an excellent job of trading so far. I mean, if you look at the multi-kills coming in, it's been DC who's been finding most of them. And it's the way that he's been playing have just made sure that RAD Syndicate has been unable to find a trade so far. But on the contrary, when it comes to the way GGEZ are playing this attacking side, they are perfectly in sync with each other in terms of spacing. They're absolutely able to make sure that even if somebody does go down on the way that they're on the way to the site itself, you know, the hard anchor is able to find that first kill. The rest of the team is right behind, and they more than find their fair share of frags in exchange. So many of these rounds, it's been a 2-for-1 or even a 3-for-1 trade in favor of GGEZ here, and those are the rounds that they've been looking the most dominance in. On the other hand, the rounds that the RAD Syndicate have been winning, I mean, definitely they've been a little bit more scrappy, but also it comes off of them being able to find the opening kills. And I think that a lot of these rounds are being decided in the first 30 seconds of the round, depending on who gets those opening kills. And so far, at least DC is the one leading the charge here.
Yeah, 100%. Now, we are just getting word from production as well around this tech pause. It should be only another minute or two. A player is just restarting their PC, having some technical difficulties with their computer. So hopefully we'll be back in the game very, very shortly. But yeah, this has been a very, very interesting game, and I'm glad that it's so close, right? Because obviously we've seen a lot of these one-sided halves. We're talking about it at the start of the day, but this has been a real contest, a lot of back and forth. There's been a lot of questions asked from the defense, and I mean, look, GGEZ have been good in answering a lot of those questions, which is why they've managed to wrestle back the momentum so early in this game. But yeah, the RAD Syndicate, we know how good they can be. Once they get into a groove and start controlling the rhythm themselves, that's when they start to be really, really dangerous. And I think that, you know, there's certainly a thing to be had and said about the way that Ismi Vigo took down RAD Syndicate yesterday. They were able to control the pace, and they were able to actually get themselves into so many good positions to enable some sort of flanks and stuff like that. So I think the RAD Syndicate's mindset at the moment is we've got to shut down any of that flank potential. It is leading to a little bit of over-aggression at times, but I think that they've certainly been good in asking these questions. We're going to see an immediate start there in the round. The operator has been revealed towards B.
They've smoked it out, and now they know where it is. Not going to be pushing that point too much. Of course, now that they know, Deadly probably going to try to watch some other angle. It's going to be the mid to B hit that he is going to be watching for. The rest of the squad, on the other hand, I mean, that's both Prowlers use, so this position is going to be difficult. But tucked in the corner, Tricky actually able to find 2. Yes, buy one, get one free offer going on for the Reyna, and he's happy to confirm it.
100% there. Great pick to come out. So we are going to see... Try to work in towards the rest of the map here. See whether or not DC can find anything in reply with the operator in hand. 2v4 scenario right now. We're going to see lightning fast as well. 2 players with plenty of experience here to try and lead some sort of a comeback, but it's not going to be had here, I don't think. Deadly too sharp with that headhunter. It's all up to the chamber.
I mean, Deadly says if you can do it, I can do it too. Starting to really wake up here, and like you said, DC, he's been incredible before. Does have control of the spike, but it is a 1v4. First fight gonna be versus the Neon here. Operator still on the line. Quick rotation to come through, but Paradox is right here. The Paranoia is perfect, and he is able to confirm that kill. Not gonna pick up the off, seeing that they already have one, but 3 players alive. Exactly the kind of round that RAD Syndicate needed to start shoring up their economy on this defensive side. DC gets taken down. He doesn't have enough money to buy the off, and yeah, I mean, he wasn't able to find the impact that we're used to seeing from him in these kind of rounds, and I think that has a lot to do with the repositioning of the players from RAD Syndicate. I mean, they were playing directly down mid earlier in those last few rounds, but now they're holding these off angles instead. And I mean, Tricky being able to get not 1 but 2 kills with that spray kind of started them off exactly on the right foot, opened up the map for the rest of the time. Now, once again, we're going to be seeing this chamber versus chamber face-off towards mid. It's going to be Deadly to come out on top.
Yeah, we're seeing a switch in that head-to-head for sure. The chamber battle starting to go the way of Deadly a little bit. Do see the numbers advantage here in favor of defense, but they're still on these very committed angles and lines. Guard will get another pick there. Trinity goes down, but a good trade in the end that allows the defense to So it allows the attack to just put a bit more pressure over towards that B side.
Oh,
Deadly!
God.
Oh no! Lightning Fast had a perfect opportunity to take down the chamber. Instead, the shots go wide. And that is probably going to be another round going the way of the defense unless there is some sort of major mistake here. But Deadly playing a very deep angle, misses the first shot, recovers with a headhunter, and the trade comes through. So yeah, something disastrous would have had to go wrong for GGEZ to work their way back into that. Lightning Fast had a great lurk, he just couldn't land the shots.
That was really nice gameplay towards mid there. I think, again, just having that chamber consistently rotating around, like keeping them guessing where exactly that operator could be. And Deadly in particular has definitely woken up here, starting to build up his own second tour of the force. He might be able to hit it faster the way he's going. I think he wants to catch up to DC there. DC in the last 2 rounds hasn't been able to find that opening kill. Once again, last festival of the economy here for GGEZ. They're still gonna have money though for this tour of force. Sorry, they're still gonna have this ultimate though in the tour of force, so we could very well see an op hit to that. And this time around, you see Deadly again. It's really where this op is playing. Prowler though from RBK got a really nice position, and if they go in for this reswing, there is going to be DC on this line. They look like they want to double clear it off the back of the smoke, but they're gonna have to be very careful how you play this.
Yeah, mid control is confirmed here, and looks like the Reina's going to be holding this B line on their own. So Tricky got to be really, really careful here. Make sure these dismisses come out. As Paradox, I think they're through the smoke, has found Lightning Fast. So the Viper goes down. The chamber is now stranded in towards mid. As the execute comes onto the B side, Tricky can't land the shot. And that will be a spike plant to come through here as DC's found their way up mid. Despite that player being picked, not expecting the chamber lurk. And that is going to be another pick going the way of the attack.
Still viable though, 3v5 situation. DC and Coley controlling this rotation through mid. Everybody has to converse through CT here. The Garb does have the Neon ult if he wants for the overdrive. Could try to piece apart people, but nobody's really low here. They're gonna go for it in 3v4. Nightfall invested. The problem here is that everybody is playing off-site pretty much. Haun's gonna reveal everyone's positions as well. So this attacking side is actually gonna know where this is coming from. Of course, you also have the Court of Force at CT. DC has that player just make the impact. Deadly though in this 1v3 situation, not able to hit the shot on Trinity, tries to go for the quick scope, but it doesn't work out. And GGEZ, they get themselves closer to a tied half. Last round of the half though, I mean, economy-wise, both sides have enough to go in for a full buy, so this should be a very, very close round. The way this game has been going has literally been rounds are being decided off the back of those first 30 seconds, and it continues to be the case here.
100% it does, as we do see the RAD Syndicate just lose a little bit of control on this game. It's now 6-5. GGEZ a chance to come into this one and tie up the half. Very, very good Valorant, very hotly contested. I am curious though as to why that Nightfall was committed and not the overdrive to take that extra space. That certainly would have been something I would have been trying, but you know, they got it for this round. We'll see whether or not Garv can find the impact on this occasion, as Deadly's just trying to avoid some bullets, avoid some spam. For now, there's a lot of pressure here towards the middle of the map, and this is what I like about slowing things down, because it forces this re-clear, but Deadly's ready for it. Finds the pick over towards RBK, and a couple chances for GGEZ to just go wide.
Ooh, they spot out the fade here. Tricky finds Trinity though in the meantime. That's going to be 2 opening kills now for this attacking side, and Garv finds Lightning Fast as well. So yeah, suddenly they're just completely falling apart here. This defense looking so incredible right now, and it's just going to be Coley left alone. Used it from the shadows to take the side, but the problem is, you know, in a 1v5 you can't just get the spike down. You have to get a pick or two, and the rest of the squad happy to play together. They heard the ult come through. They expect it to be probably towards CT or towards site, and I mean, it doesn't even matter if you get the plants at this point, because it's the last round of the half. So you know, if you're thinking about just getting the plant for money, I mean, it's not gonna work out. It does seem like Kobe, though, not being gifted any picks, is just gonna try to play out this 1v5 by himself. Garv though gonna start things off here with the overdrive. Stun comes through, doesn't really connect, but the shots definitely do, and the Neon ult just trailblazing through a flawless round here, as RAD Syndicate are gonna be able to get themselves up to 7.
Yeah, that's a really, really nice half there for the RAD Syndicate, recovering nicely despite that small falter in the middle of the half. And this is why they are such a quality team. Even with momentum against them, they can wrestle it back. As you can see, a 7-5 half, pretty even here at the moment. The main difference between the two teams was that pistol round win, just getting a couple rounds ahead early on. But It has been an impressive game, I gotta say. Both teams asking questions and both teams having answers. It's really, really good Valorant to see when that type of stuff happens. The one criticism I will have for GGEZ there is Lightning Fast Viper Pit was active for about 4 rounds there, I want to say. It wasn't used at all. I think the Viper was just a little bit aggressive up mid. I think being the first contact when you have the pit online is probably not the right idea because it is such a win condition, that ultimate, right? Like, let's say that, you know, Lightning Fast in that situation had walked up A, the Omen comes there, the pit in a 2v5, that's a winnable situation. So not using that is probably a missed opportunity. Other than that, I think it's been pretty good.
There's actually going to slow down and isolate these angles. A lot of damage being done to the stand though. Tricky going to be the one to get that first kill. Gets the overkill on board as well. So that's definitely going to help him out. Especially the Reyna can be so deadly in this pistol round. Talking about deadly though, he's able to find a pick of his own. And all of their 1v1s are being won here by the RAD Syndicate. Only going to be Trinity left alive. That 150 HP coming in clutch as Tricky gets away with literally 1 HP on the board. But a flawless pistol for the RAD Syndicate to start things off on this attacking side. And it seems like at the juncture, they're starting to get that momentum in their favor at the very least.
Yep, you win both pistols, you go on to win a lot of games, I'll be honest. That is kind of the key. If you can at least get yourself this anti-eco as well, it's essentially 4 rounds gifted to you. So we'll see whether or not GGEZ can work their way back into this. And I do believe there is a little bit of an overlay issue there. DC has not bought an operator second round with armor. That definitely is not the case. So yeah, we'll just have the headhunter. We'll see whether or not it's just as effective. I mean, the crosshair's in the right spot, and there it is. Garv will go down.
Their skills to come through, and off the back of it, they're going to try to swing through, hunt his chamber down. He's already TP'd away, of course. Still with the traffic, actually hits the right click, looking for a little bit more damage, but finally, UV shuts that down. That's going to open up the site here at the very least, but already you have 2 players coming into a CT. Trademark going to be broken. That's the information given away. Look at this though. Marshall in the hands of UV, holding down the sideline. Knows there's at least 2 players to come through. I like how they're using like bait and switch kind of play. You also do have this Phantom for this aggressive sideline. And of course the Marshall from Deadly is absolutely doing work right now. Totally on the flank, able to find one, might be able to pick up the Marshall, but in a 1v2, not exactly the best gun that you want to have. Has the TP, fakes it across, gets a little bit of information with the help of it. But yeah, with his dark cover coming down, it's going to be very difficult for him to find anything. Tricky with the Phantom, finds that final kill. And yeah, I mean, sure, it was a little bit of an economic loss here for RAD Syndicate, but they keep the Phantom, which was the most substantial investment in that round. So all things considered, not too bad, and I'm pretty excited to see how this buy is going to shape up. Already I see Deadly, you know, only had the Headhunter last round, going to be able to invest in this Vandal. So it's full buy versus full buy here, and I don't know if that's an actual op we're seeing from DC, but we have seen him pull it out before in these rounds. So I would actually love to see an early operator coming in from him.
Well, I mean, a couple of picks gives you a little bit extra money, so we'll see whether or not he does have the funds for that op. But yeah, that was a really, really good round there and summed up pretty nicely by the attack, as RBK is going to find Tricky on the reveal from that Horn Paradox. Only good for the one as Trinity trades it out. The defense have won that little clash in towards the middle of the map, but they have lost the space, so it's a bit of a trade-off. Numbers for space here. We'll see if Garv can do anything, but DC shuts down the Neon.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what gun DC has, whether it's the Chamber Headhunter, whether it's the Marshall, whether it's the Op, or whether it's the Vandal. Like you said, crosshair placement is just perfectly on point here, and the rest of the squad for RAD Syndicate brought down to just 2 players right now. Deadly with the Outlaw, trying to make some magic happen here, but yeah, again, just the positions being held by this defensive side. It's been such a menace in this full buy round, and again, the awareness from the side of this Chamber, hiding himself in the corner, tucked away. Deadly looking to come into side, Chamber versus Chamber. Headhill not looking at the right angle, and DC able to win out that confrontation. It is just going to be UV left towards main, and Lightning Fast happy to take that swing any day of the week. Confidence in his aim, gets it done. GGEZ, they win their first attacking round.
Yep, very, very nice defense. Getting themselves on the board, as you say, 9-6 now. The score, 3 rounds is the lead for the RAD Syndicate. And this is a reminder here that, I mean, this is actually the RAD Syndicate's map pick here, I believe. So this is very, very interesting to see. Or actually, is it? I'm not too sure. I'm thinking on the map.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. We'll find out in the break anyway between maps. It does read as that, but anyway, we'll find it out later. 9-6 currently is the score, though, on the RAD Syndicate. are going for another brawl in towards mid. Didn't work last time around, and it looks like it's going to be the same result as RBK through the smoke is going to find two.
Yeah, the spam has just been insane so far in these rounds. I think the last round as well, it was kind of the case here. So I think that just the fact that the little combo of the saturate connected along with the spam there from RBK just paying huge difference right now. Talking about defense though, it's Deadly who is able to find that first kill onto Lightning Fast. The problem is there's that counter push. Already the split control has been so strong coming in from this defender side, and RBK already with 3 on the round, gonna be doing wonders for the Nightfall coming in. He'll probably have it for that next round if nothing else. And yeah, it's just going to be UV left right now. Doesn't have control of the spike, little consolation, but again, in a 1v4, not the best situation if you want to try and close it out here. The clock ticking as well. I think the call here might just be to hold on to this gun because the economy is starting to get into that awkward cycle of save and
30
buy,
seconds
save
left.
and buy. So it's going to have to be important for him to keep this hero rifle for the next one.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's also got to be another option explored here too, as we are going to see Coley. Kind of a formality there, wrapping up UV in the last round, but I gotta say, they've got to ask a couple more questions here. We saw them asking questions on defense, and I said it was nice. At the moment, the RAD Syndicate, they've hit the A site, they've taken it very nicely. Other than that, it's kind of just been a contact play into mid, and attempting to get around all the utility. It hasn't worked now twice in a row, and the defense have absolutely punished, so I'd like to see some other questions asked here. It looks like they are going to head towards the B side, and we'll see whether or not they can find some success over there.
Success. I mean, so far, the defense, they finally managed to start building up that economy, builds up that momentum, and now they have a chance to get 3 in a row here. Could very well be the blow that they need to get themselves into an equalizing position. No money in the bank. It is just going to be the paranoia ready to go. I feel like they have an inkling that it's going to be a quick B hit. Everybody from the side of GGEZ going, from the RAD Syndicate going in for this play. They're just going to be running it down though. And the wall to the side. The problem is they still have crossfire available. Once again, the saturate completely shuts down, slows down the attack here, forcing players to go down one by one. I think the second kill was through spam as well. And so far, I mean, this defense side, their spam has just been picture perfect. Deadly at least able to find that first kill. Makes it a 4v3, but none of these guns are going to be achievable.
Trying to spam down Coley in that smoke, but not going to find anything just yet. And we can see DC, Vandal in hand, going to be walking down mid and holding an aggressive line, cutting off the rotates. And this is what you see a lot of top teams do here. When you get a control on a map like the road, you've got to take other areas of the map, make sure there is no escape, and force them into the stack. That's what they're going to do here as RBK is going to swing out, takes down Paradox. It's going to be the snake bite to take out Tricky, and now it's all down to Deadly, who might look for a consolation, will be denied, and it's 8-9.
Yeah, very, very clean defense around, of course. I like that play, swing off the back of the snakebite being thrown down. Perfectly timed, but Coley able to get the first. The shot didn't connect, but with that vulnerability coming through, all you gotta do is really shoot people in the foot. It doesn't matter where you shoot them at that point. Coley able to find that first one, and the rest of the team swinging off the back of it. Excellent teamwork and coordination. I am loving the utility combos coming in from the side of this defense right now. In particular, Trinity, he might not be having the frags right now to back it up, but that saturate has been such a pain for this attacking side. It's been consistently catching them out of position. Talking about position, so Haun's gonna be revealed. Cheeky wallbang, and he gets a cool opening. Goalie as well, taking on guard here. Tricky at least able to find the refrag, but now with that dark cover coming in. Oh my god, actually able to avoid the snake bite and get out thanks to that dismiss. Makes it a 3v3.
This is the chaos of Valorant. Sometimes fights happening all over the map, and Lightning Fast is going to hold the line. 2 big frags to pretty much secure this. Makes it a 1v3 UV. Can isolate these picks though. You can see how spread out the defense are, and RBK is found out on the timing. The plant goes in, and now it's winnable. So Lightning Fast done a lot of good work early on finding those couple of picks, but can they find anything else?
They're going to be playing from the elbow, 1v2. Fighting fast, waiting for his teammate, waiting for a possible push, has the angle, and gets the headshot. A 3K for the Viper. Has the ultimate ready to go. Didn't even need it, to be honest. It was just him being able to hold down that line and cut off this A hit on both ends. At least UV able to get the spike down, so that's going to be money for the RAD Syndicate. Maybe they might be able to buy in the next one. They do have a couple of ultimates ready to go, but yeah, I feel like the smoke was a little bit of a mistake. The fact that Lightning Fast was able to get both and not trade through, I think this is where RAD Syndicate lost the round, despite it being neck and neck so far. And yeah, once again, awkward buy here, of course. Garb, we've seen him with the Bucky. He looks pretty deadly with it. I would say he's scarier with the Bucky than the Op for sure, if nothing else.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, the one concern that I think the RAD Syndicate are going to have to address is the fact that when we were seeing all those big players from GGEZ, especially with DC on Corrode, it was on defense. Defense is where the Chambers did their best work, so we'll see if they can deal with it. You were saying you were scared of the Bucky, and they've shown why. Garv opens up the A side. The Chambers not even going to get a look into this round. The spike has been planted in 15 seconds.
Spike planted.
They just went for it, and yeah, Bucky gets the opening. The rest of the team off the back of that there for the refrags. Tricky ready for the kill and the dismiss. And now it is going to be a 2v4 retake. It has to start with RBK being able to find this first one.
Last player
might be caught on the angle, but he's more than ready for it. Goes for the peak at the right time and takes down RBK. And yeah, DC 1v4 looking for at least a couple of possible picks here. But the problem is that Operator in the hand's going to be a very awkward fucking there. Though swinging with all the confidence in the world to get RAD Syndicate to double digits. Really nice round. It was also at the tail end of their economy, so they kind of had to make it happen. They expected this Viper spin as well, and they were perfectly ready to counter. I think the Vipers could actually work for guard there. Let them get that little bit of space and make sure they weren't ready for it. But Tricky, the real hero there, being able to take down not one but two players. Insane entries from the duelist there.
Yeah, Prenny was able to get that saturate down. Maybe could have stopped the aggression, but it was just so quick. That was not expected whatsoever. So 10-9 now the attack. They finally get back on the board here. And again, I gotta say, it's only been that A main pressure that's really been successful for them. When they've gone towards mid like this, it hasn't really looked too good. So we'll see whether or not they're able to find some success. It looks like they're going to head towards the B side on this occasion. But yeah, I gotta say, the RAD Syndicate, they haven't had many win conditions here early.
Yeah, it's been a bit difficult for them. I think that round was a little bit chaotic, complete switch up and change of pace, which took them aback. They were ready for the slow round off the back of the Viper split, but instead it was just this raw aggression coming in. Fucking got change of pace. So once again, RAD Syndicate slowing things down. This time around, the fam not as lucky here. Coley does get spotted out. Gonna be teeping back to safety. Does get an inkling that there is still some mid pressure to come through here, but on the opposite side. Look at this. Not control.
Right back.
Going towards mid, garnering a lot of space. Trinity not able to get away in time, and Tricky's gotta find that crucial opening kill. Opens up this mid to be hit if they want, but that nightfall might actually stop things in their tracks, or if not stop them, at least make them look a little bit more vulnerable. RBK has an opportunity of the lifetime here. Everybody looking low, but he can't hit the shots. The double swing is perfect, and Yuki and Garb once again just working magic right now, opening up this site, and RAD Syndicate 5v2 once again. There's this tour de force to try and make an impact, a difference here.
One enemy remaining
here. Map control, post plans, everything at the kitchen sink is just perfect right now. And RAD Syndicate's gonna push their scoreline to 11 at the end of it. Coley just has to save.
Yeah, there's really nothing going on here now for the defense. And there we have it. The mid aggression split in towards B definitely worked out there. And I got to say, a lot of that success has to be attributed to Tricky on this Reyna. Obviously, we talk about the Neon, how much space you can get. But when you take that space and can dismiss into it as the Reyna, it makes trading absolutely impossible. We are going to see Coley maybe get hunted down here. We'll take down Garb. We'll see if we can get a few more frags to the kill feed, but not going to happen in the end. So it's 11-9 now for the RAD Syndicate. I think Tricky is so essential to this fight back, right? 15-12 on the Reyna, getting the entries, able to dismiss or even heal up, just makes it so much difficult to find trades. And that is the key on this map, because when you are on Corrode, if you cannot get numbers back, it makes it so difficult, almost impossible to hold any sort of space. And we can see how quickly sites get overwhelmed when that happens.
100%. I also think that the way that Tricky has been using the Reyna is really nice because he brought up the dismiss, denying that trade potential, but he's also been using it as a little Sova node in a way. If you think about it, he takes the dismiss, goes forward, checks out, is there another player here? If there is, guys, let the spam commit, and they're able to find an additional frag off the back of it. Also, Tricky has been consistently getting these double kills. It's just been beautiful team play coming out of him and Garb. Like, even the last round, when they were going into the site, when they were going from mid to B, despite that Nightfall being right in their face, they decided to push forward, and that double swing coming out of both Tricky as well as Garb there completely caught RBK off guard, I think. I mean, it felt like, you know, with a little bit of luck, he might have been able to take him down because they were both so low thanks to the previous damage as well as the Nightfall being invested. But, you know, they were able to counter that perfectly. I think the spacing has been excellent coming in from this attacking side, especially in these last few rounds. And yeah, map control, they are the ones to get it through. I think that mid has been such a pivotal area for both of these teams right now. And I think that RAD Syndicate have been able to kind of crack the code. So hopefully after this timeout, GGEZ are going to be able to recover a little bit because remember, this is their map pick. They kind of want to take it home to make sure that Haven, I know that they're also pretty good at Haven, don't get me wrong, but they kind of want to make sure that they start things off here because losing your map pick always feels really awkward, especially, you know, when the stakes are so high and it is the lower final.
Yep, 100% agree with everything you said there. 11th and 9, and it looks like the RAD Syndicate are trying to get to match point nice and quickly. Trinity has got another thing to say about it though. Getting a couple of picks backed up by Lightning Fast, and all of a sudden, it's all down to one. Yubi is going to get taken down. Lightning Fast has come online.
He comes alive in this one, and I mean, Lightning Fast looked like he was screwed for a second there with, you know, the stun hitting from the Neon, the swing there, but thankfully his teammate from the back of sight able to swing through and take him down, and off the back of that, Lightning Fast able to take a little bit more aggressive positioning. Again, that snake bite doing so much impact, everyone pushing into sight, just vulnerable to fight, and the spray down perfect from the rest of the squad. At least Tricky was able to find one, but when you have two players already hardcore anchoring the side of the third rotating in as well, it's just going to be very difficult, especially when you have to get through that mindful utility, and we saw how much of a menace that was in the last round. This time though, RAD Syndicate looking to take things a little bit more slower, and again, op versus op to start things off as DC. We've talked about him before. He might have been a little bit quieter in the second half, but with that op in hand, he is so hot.
Yeah, great first blood there, and it's essential. The defense don't give up this mid space either, but they're gonna have to fight hard for it as RBK is going to get traded out there, and this is it. The Reyna getting that pick, able to take the space away, is huge for the RAD Syndicate. 3v4 scenario, they're going to accelerate in towards this B site. Lightning Fast, though, this is the experience we talk about with this player in particular. Just getting out of dodge, playing up towards heaven, waiting for the team to come in.
Yeah, I really like that coming in from him. Not knowing that they have the numbers advantage in this retake, wanting to try and play together to close it out. Yubi, if he gets a kill, will have the Nightfall. That could be a huge difference maker here when you consider that every single player is coming in from the CT angle. Paradox playing aggressive right now. However, the white's hit perfect, but Yubi, there's the Nightfall we were talking about. Gonna invest it, knows that both these players are here, able to get information. Yeah, and it's the Empress as well. Space can go really well. Tricky gets that dismiss, gets out there. Now it's just going to be DC versus the world, but the crouch beat is perfect there. And DC closes things out here. 11 to 11. GGEZ, they're not giving up easy at all. And wow, that was such a crucial round to win for them, because if they have lost, it would have been match point for RAD Syndicate, and their economy would have been at a toss. Even now, I think it's looking a little bit shaky here, but being able to win 2 rounds in a row, I think should let them buy up, and he's also able to, I think, recover that operator. I don't know if he was able to get it from CT, but yeah, they do have an operator on the defensive side. There you go. Good.
In their hour of need, who else but DC, the player to get them out of trouble in the 1v1. Tricky, I gotta say, has been very impressive in the later end of this match so far. It's definitely had impact in the last few rounds. Couldn't clutch in that occasion, but we're gonna see Tricky this time again. There it is, the Reyna opening things up has been phenomenal so far in the second half.
Oh dear, that's a little bit of a misplay from Trinity. He tried to go in for the trade, but the shots don't really connect. Garb now coming in towards mid, able to get taken down. He was low, but he was just a bait there for Deadly to chime in with that headshot on the on the
planted.
headhunter here. Once again, 2v4 situation, and you're in such a rough position right now. It's 11-11, and you're not going to be able to buy the operator again if you go down. So yeah, the call might just be to save here from Kohli and DC. They're going to be falling back right now.
Yeah.
Not at all an easy decision, but no easy picks being given away. So yeah, beautiful attacking round from GGEZ, and I think Trinity there just a little bit over aggressive might have cost them the round.
I'm just wondering here if maybe some sort of aggression towards the B line is the answer here for the GGEZ. They've done a lot in towards A, and they've fought hard for mid control. But when they hold down that A side, it really does make it difficult for the RAD Syndicate to be able to pivot in there, especially if they take A main. If the attack were to split A and you have A main, it makes it so difficult to clear all the angles effectively. You can get caught in a crossfire. So yeah, I really wonder whether or not, instead of just aggressing towards A main here and giving your opponents the fight, maybe some sort of A main or B main control is the answer.
100%. I think that they really...
Be very passive.
Yeah, exactly. And I think RAD Syndicate, they've been contesting mid heavily for most of this attacking side. So like you said, if they can get map control somewhere else, at least as a trade-off, it might make this retake easier, because so far in most of these retakes, even when the numbers have been easy, like even, it's been them trying to come through a choke point, and most of the time RAD Syndicate is able to take full advantage of them to try and make it work. Early on towards mid to come through dark cover as well, gonna at least enable this 3-stack towards mid to find a little bit of control. Paranoia at the ready as well, just in case people are coming in. But the buy, a little bit awkward here. They do have the judge, but I mean, to be fair, if you're playing a judge anywhere on this map, this is probably the best angle. Beautiful prowler to get the info, but now, oh, it doesn't catch the judge. Also, yeah, they're gonna have to take this fight head to head, and now Kohli forced back by the utility, but RBK finds that first opening. Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna see DC, a rare miss with the operator, but keeps his life. That rendezvous. Now Kohli with the judge you were mentioning, and the dragon roars. It's gonna be 2 kills to come through. 5v2 scenario now. The RAD Syndicate, can they win it? There's a good pick there, taking out the Waylay. Big space taken towards B as well, but Lightning Fast is aware of Paradox. And now it is all down to Deadly 10. We've seen DC in some clutches. Now it's time for Deadly 10 to see if he can seal it here in regulation. Otherwise, we're headed for OT. Gets another pick here, and maybe there's a chance.
I don't know about
30
that. I
seconds
think Kohli's
left.
sitting on the spike with the judge. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for Deadly, especially since this TP is all the way towards A main. No way you're going to be able to pull it back and position it in time. 20 seconds left. You have to go in for the spike, and it's just a firing squad waiting for you. 3 different weapons, a judge, an op, and Phantom. It sounds like the start of a joke here, but it seems like the judge is going to be the contender probably. Never mind, RBK gets the headshot instead. I mean, like I said, firing squad at the ready, and GGEZ able to get themselves this overtime on their map pick. They still have a chance to take RAD Syndicate down. And I mean, that round in particular, right? I love that little bait and switch play. Both teams have been doing a lot of it, but yeah, DC usually misses the operator shot. They hear him TP away. They try to bum rush him, and Kohli in the corner with the judge, just happy to confirm those 2 kills. I mean, you know, honestly, him not having the money for a full gun there might have worked out in his favor. I just gotta say that.
Yeah, 100% right place at the right time. And it was what I was, saying could be really deadly just for either side. Having that Omen playing in towards A lane just as a whole shuts down so many angles. That paranoia is so deadly. Obviously, yeah, you can use it towards B, and B main can cover it all. But mid, when it's being as contested as heavily as it is in this match in particular, I think it is a little bit of a waste not to position your Omen there. We're going to see it now for the RAD Syndicate as well. They've doubled up towards A link, but DC on a neon jump spot doesn't miss. Garv goes down, and that's a big opener.
That was such a good shot. And yeah, I mean, we were talking about DC. You know, he was so dynamic in that first half, a little bit quieter towards the second, but now revitalized in this OT, ready for the peak, ready for the headshot, and that's the second opening to come through here. Again, I mean, so many of these attacking rounds, it's been him with the operator being able to pop off. However, this push from Paradox is it's perfect. They're able to get all 3 players between them. Paradox goes down, but it's definitely worth the trade in exchange. They might have lost this defense, but they bring it down to a 2v2.
Yeah, they're going to get the spike plant there as well. So 2v2, DC needs to hit this shot and does. Of course he does when he's needed most. UV is going to go down. It's all down to Tricky. Like I said, probably, I'm going to argue, the most impactful player in the last 10 rounds or so here on this Reyna has been playing so well. But this is going to be a big ask. DC with an operator in hand, staring up towards heaven. And the time is ticking. Time not on the side of Tricky at all. The Lear is available. Gonna have to use it to go to heaven here, you would assume.
Wow.
But it's not gonna matter. DC with the headshot with 4. And match point is now
Switching
in
sides.
favor of GGEZ.
What a flick towards the end as well. I mean, yeah, the Chamber's positioning has just been so good on these attacking rounds. And yeah, like you said, 4K. It was a little bit dicey here towards the middle, but that lurk coming in, the call there to rotate towards the B side to get this fight done, and of course that post-plant positioning, him being able to just hold down CT, DC just carrying that round on his back, getting GGEZ to match point here on map number 1. 27 kills. Honestly, I want this game to go as long as it can until he gets his 30 bomb. And I mean, the way he's playing, I'm pretty sure he'll get this round if he continues to build that momentum up.
Just so you know, 27 and 10 was his KD in yesterday's game when he won on Road. So he's got the same stat line. He's having the same impact. It's insane to see. They get the 13 and he's got 27 and 10 yet again. But this time it's job not done. This time they've got to ask for more. Can DC do it? As you said, the 30 bomb incoming, but that is incredible consistency out of the chamber.
100%. And I mean, yesterday was a warm-up. Today is the main performance, and tomorrow will be the encore if they can close things out here on this map number 1, because Haven, like you said, a map that both teams have consistently played. Both teams have been able to find victory on it, so it could definitely go either way despite it being a RAD Syndicate pick. But I think for GGEZ, this has been one of their cornerstones in their collection in terms of maps, and they've been able to show exactly why they're so clinical on it. Talking about it though, here comes the attack. The problem is there's such a heavy stack on this site that the stun actually connects with both players, with a paranoia is perfect to slow things down. Though, there's the opening you need. Spam from guard comes through as well. There's still gonna be one player on site trying to anchor things down here. But yeah, only somehow gets to still is a trade for trade coming in from RAD Syndicate. Only gonna be DC left to life. A 1v3. Of course, we've seen him in the clutch before. He's been incredible. Can he do it again?
Can he do it again? Another question asked here of DC. If he does, it's the 30 bomb. So it is what you were asking for, Zach. We'll see whether or not DC can find it though. 1v3. Can he dig this Omen out of this corner? Noise being made towards defender spawn, but he's still aware of Paradox there. Rifle is going to get picked up as well. Some might argue makes him a bit less deadly, but we'll see if he can do it. Sticking towards half, 1v2. The swing comes out. He finds another, surely not. The spike is halved. He's going to tap. He baits out the swing, but he can't land the shots. And UV will clean it up. What an effort from DC, but it's just not enough.
Too
Switching
close
sides.
for comfort. You
Overtime.
cannot be playing like that in a 1v3. Every single fight isolated. I mean, that last shot, I feel like if he had an operator instead of the Phantom, he might have been able to take UV down, but really, really perfect attempt at that 1v3 to come through.
One enemy
Gets off the
remaining.
spike, gets the tap off the back of it, and of course, I mean, if he had been able to hit the shot, it would have been the round first, but just ran out of bullets towards the end, and was low enough for the shorty to impact needed even from that distance. Overtime number 2 kicking in right now. Once again, it seems like we're going to be seeing Deadly on the operator, this time towards the A site, not an area that we've really seen him play so much. And look at this Spike and everybody else, they like these fast and heavy hits. They know that there's usually only 1 or 2 players anchoring this site down. Of course, dark cover comes down, going to slow them down at least a little bit, but I like this. They're actually investing in towards the Fade ult here, so that's going to be very useful in denying that retake attempt if it comes through.
Yeah, Paradox here, solo on towards the B site. Not detected by the Haunt is big for 1. Trinity goes down, it's traded out, and it will be a 4v4. So the contact play coming out here for the attackers, working out at least to get the site under their control. I'm too sure what Coley's waiting for. It's an extra smoke for the plant location. And a bit of a retake attempt coming out for the RAD Syndicate. And Lightning Fast has found 4 onto the ace. The pit is out.
Oh man, just the spam to come through. I thought they were going to try to give Lightning Fast the kill, but well, no ace for Lightning Fast. He has to be satisfied with the 4K, but I think he's going to be happy that GGEZ were able to win that round. And the beautiful, and I mean, of course, them being able to find that entry kill was one thing. It was still a back and forth, but the fact that Lightning Fast is orb here is just so impactful. Not only does it cut off line of sight, the way that it's positioned, they have to take that additional HP damage as they try to converge it, and this is kind of the problem that we've been seeing for the retake. All these players, they are just coming in through the same angle because they're not able to take that map control, especially when the hits have been this fast. I really like that change up in terms of pacing, and yeah, that's going to be match point again for GGEZ.
On the other side of things, though, I've got to be a little bit critical of that attempt to sort of pre-take the site there, I like to say, before the spike's planted and try to fight your way back in. When you're fighting through a Viper Orb as well, I mean, you got to understand that the decay is going to be there. If it was an Omen Smoke, I don't really mind the pop, but everybody was going to be low HP coming out of that smoke. It's why Lightning Fast racked up those 3 kills so quickly. And that really did just, you know, guarantee that the round was lost there. If they just taken their time, allowed the spike plant to come in a little bit longer, it would have drained the poison from the Viper. It wouldn't have been up, and there would have been one less bit of utility they had to deal with. So, you know, I can understand they want to try to catch their opponents off guard, but they really had no information to make that play with.
Exactly, and I think that denial was just so crucial in that round. I think that the rounds where RAD Syndicate have had the info, where they've had that, you know, first pick, those are the rounds that they've been really successful in. But GGEZ, I think, changing it up big time, and of course, Lightning Fast just somehow getting that spray down. I mean, to be fair, everybody was low thanks to baseball, but still, heading into the next round here, they really want to close it out. Operator ready to go, and DC does not miss. That's going to be the 31. I think he hit the 30 bomb the last round. I think that's right. He stole the ace from Lightning Fast. Nice little paranoia there, but again, just the spam to come through. Tricky and Paradox between them. Find 2 openings takes though. That's definitely going to make things a little bit more rough. And DC goes down to set up the operator no longer a problem. 3 feet 4 seconds. The spike goes down.
13-14 match on the line. It's GGEZ who are on the back foot. RBK has pulled out the Odin. Is this going to be a factor in this round on the retake? Prowler coming out there looking for space. You're going to see Trinity try to take the line early, and that is going to be punished as Tricky lands the shot with the operator. Rifle back in hand. Lightning Fast takes him out. It's a 2v3.
Still gonna have another operator in the hands of Deadly. They always like the first, but the second is gonna be the question. And nope, RBK caught on the angle. Just gonna be Lightning Fast right now in a 1v3. Gets the first one, gets the second as well. Has the Viper spit to boot. Gonna be able to stick half the defuse, but it's the jumping peak from Deadly to close things out here and keep us going. He knew he was low, to be fair. Unfortunate there that he didn't have time, because I feel like if he had been able to get the Viper spit down, it might have helped him, but it might have also hurt him. Either way though, another 1v3 narrowly missed out here on the clutch for GG. Really nice side take there, and post-fight coming in from the RAD Syndicate.
Yeah, this is just very, very nerve-wracking, though. You feel like it's just moments away from going all wrong for the RAD Syndicate. I gotta say, out of the 2 teams, for me in this overtime, GGEZ have looked more settled. There's been a little bit more calm coming from their side, and that is crucial in big moments like this. Reminded everyone, this is just the lower final. This is to get into the grand final. It is all on the line here, and people in the server are playing their hearts out at the moment. 14 apiece. We're going to see DC getting on the line with this operator. The dark cover will come out, and it will deny the space for now.
Oh, Gargo finds the opening on Cooley. And that's going to be the spike drop right now. And that spam actually connects perfectly. Look, the problem is the spike is dropped off the side. So, yeah, I think RAD Syndicate, for the first time in this defensive round, able to have a little bit of proactivity. And, of course, here, this angle and these crossfires just doing hard work right now for the side of RAD Syndicate. Deadly on the work, able to close out that final kill. And again, just the expectations. So far, at least these 8 hits have been very successful for GGEZ. A little bit of adaptation coming in from the RAD Syndicate. And for the first time in OT, I think they're going to be the ones to get themselves to match point. They've been struggling on this defensive side. Both these teams have. And now, all they have to do is win this attacking round.
Yep, 100%. It's going to be down to the defense here. Like we said at the start, defense wins championships, and that's what it's about. Pressure moments like this. Can you hold the line? As the RAD Syndicate strike back with a couple of their own. It's been back and forth this whole time. Finally, some momentum for now, the attacking team. We'll see whether or not they're able to get in this side. They're going to contact in towards the A sight line here. DC is going to get hit by the Prowler, and I think that's going to be an indication that it is the operator, as they will go around searching. Shot goes wide though, and DC's now in trouble. What?
I don't know about that. I feel like DC is the trouble. Cat just didn't on the jump. Able to hold down the other angle, even if elbow has been taken. The backup is on its way. They're gonna have to flood into the side fast. Not a chance. DC still looking to be a menace, but Tricky, aware of the positioning, gets the jump shot with the shorty. Not the way you want to do that. Paradox playing a dangerous game now in the smoke. Things down to a 4v4, and as the spike goes down, the pressure is going to shift towards this defense on the retake. 3 players flooding in from CT. There is a flame coming in, but it's very, very late. They have to be able to find these kills. Talking about those kills, the lightning fast activity goes huge, making it a 2v4. They know exactly where one more player is. Oh my god, gets the first one, but the paranoia is enough to cause a little bit of pressure. And now it is just going to be deadly. Trinity happy to close things out with a 3k. And yeah, I like that flood coming in from them because they really didn't let the alert kick in or this post-plant position come in properly from this attacking side.
The fight continues. 15 apiece. They finally hit back on defense. GGEZ say anything you can do, I can do better. And Trinity, who, you know, I think, you know, it's fair to say has had a little bit of a quiet game, shows up huge there in round number 30. A big 3k on the retake. And that is going to lead us to yet another overtime. This has been a fantastic match coming through here. I mean, you got to drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. This is absolute cinema, as I like to say. 15 apiece here. Map number 1. This is just the start of the series. Who is going to win this battle of attrition?
I think battle of attrition is the perfect way to phrase this overtime so far. It's been absolutely insane. Deadly, of course, playing a little bit aggressive. Trademark going to give away that, okay, it's him in that position right now, looking to go in for that aggressive peak. This time around, doesn't have the operator, just happy to play with the Bando. Actually going to get a little bit of chip damage along the drive. They're going in for the push, but the paranoia peak is the problem is that only 2 of these players were hit. Trinity there for the backup, lightning fast on the swing as well, and suddenly, what was this deep mid control from this defensive side has completely fallen apart. 5v3.
GGEZ going back to what found success at the start of this match. Like I said, just waiting for the aggressive play to come. They're forcing the RAD Syndicate to come and find them, and it's working perfectly. 5v2 scenario here over towards the A site. Tricky.
Cutting their vision.
Didn't see that. Don't worry about it. We move on. Gonna swing out now. Can't land the shots. Trinity hits the headshot. Unfortunate little whiff to come out as Paradox. It's going to avoid that convergence, but 5 players to get through here. This would be an ace for the ages.
Yeah, if he can do it, but now lightning fast, aware of the positioning, aware of the timing, aware of the rotation path, happy to take a chance and jumping up the shorty and is rewarded with a kill for his effort. He has really stepped up huge since that second half commenced and continues to be an absolute menace and almost flawless. I think it was a flawless attacking round coming in from GGEZ as they once again get themselves the match point. Now, last time they were able to pull off a retake successfully. Last time, I think the round 30 was the first defensive round that they won in OT. If they can replicate it, they might be able to win it through. But yeah, I think DC with the operator, if he does have it, he's definitely going to be one of the linchpins of that.
Yeah, we'll see what's coming out here. RBK forced off the line, and it's going to be Trinity swinging alone. Not quite the play that they were looking for there. It's going to be a good first blood for the attackers. The RAD Syndicate, they are coming towards this B site, but there's that little bit of aggression we're looking for. Lightning fast down B main. It makes splitting almost impossible here, and look at how much slower the attack has to take this site. They've got to clear everything. They've got to stand in snake bites, and it's not going to work out for them.
Caught between a rock and a hard place. You got lightning fast on one side and DC on the other. Not exactly what you want to be doing. RBK finds Yubi though. That's going to be the spike dropped. And now it's just Tricky versus the world. It seems like GGEZ are going to be able to take their map pick right now. Tricky has to do it all. And he knows only where 2 players are. There's a second player also. It's right next to lightning fast here. Paranoia comes to Tricky able to dodge it at the very least. But Coley in perfect position to confirm that final kill. And after, I think, 4 OTs, GGEZ are able to close it out 17-15. It got a little bit dicey in the middle. But you know what? I'm going to say that they let it go that long. So I think that, you know, their chamber could get that 30 bomb. I think he deserves it at this point.
32 rounds. That's how long it took to separate these 2 teams in this lower final. If that doesn't tell you how tightly contested this series is going to be, I don't know what will. Corrode, an absolute banger coming out. As we can see, the dying moments of this match. It was a nice effort. I got to say, Tricky, quiet start to the game. Absolutely popped off as soon as that half switched over. Even in OT, found success. This Rainer pick definitely started to scale. The longer the match went on, the deadlier he became. But too much to do there in the 1v4. as we do see the Ascend Breakpoint series just going straight all the way to the end. 32 rounds. I mean, you know,
No breaks.
it's incredible to see. Like I said, it's a battle of attrition. It's a battle of who can hold the line for the longest. It was a back and forth tug of war that whole game. I mean, it wasn't like what we've seen, right, with a big first half lead into a comeback for OT. It was just neck and neck the whole way.
100%, yeah. And I mean, so many of these rounds were very, very dicey, but most of them seem to have been decided very, very early on, and that's just insane to me. That especially, I think in that last round, the fact that I think for the first time in every OT, you did see that push coming in from A main and B main. You had that push coming in on both sides of the map, in fact, and that was just so much massive information. Of course, Lightning Fast, I mean, sure, DC might have been the ones to get the kills consistently, but Lightning Fast, my god, the way he stepped up in that second half, his entire kit was just such a menace, and it did so much to completely stall RAD Syndicate on their attacking side. I feel like, yeah, that Viper pick paying off huge right now for the side of GGEZ.
You know, and obviously DC deserves every bit of praise for that performance, dropping 32 kills. But I gotta say, the early stages of that game was where his impact was felt the most, because no real support around him. He was able to find those frags, those clutches, and really got themselves a chance in the game. But let's go look at the team summary. Let's see how that chamber was backed up by the rest of his players here, as we are going to go through these stats. But 17 to 15, 16 first bloods apiece, and 10 post plants. RAD Syndicate were the ones who came through with 3 clutches, but GGEZ as a team unit able to stand tall and take the win.
What's more impressive here for GGEZ is that despite RAD Syndicate finding 3 clutches, as well as them winning both pistols, they were the ones to come out on top on their map pick. So it's really nice, because despite those 7 odd rounds being given away, the map was still so close. So yeah, GGEZ, maybe a couple of mistakes here and there, but overall towards the end, they didn't lose their confidence, they didn't lose their cool. And yeah, I think Team ESC is the only real differentiator here at this point. A little bit more damage coming in from GGEZ towards the tail end of the map, especially from Lightning Fast. He really woke up there. And yeah, even the first half, he kind of struggled a bit. We could see him consistently get shut down on that lurk. Timing not quite there for him, but second half, bro was not chilling right now. Anyway, let's take a look at the leaderboard, because I want to see the exact stats here. I want to see how many first kills both Deadly and DC had there. I'm pretty sure MVP for GGEZ is gonna be that chamber, as we were talking about. 10 first kills. Very casual day at work for DC. 36 kills by the end of the map. Yeah, sure. Him and Viper together, 66 kills, kind of making up the meat of the damage here. I mean, sure, you might not, the second duelist here, Trinity, might not have had as much of a impact in terms of damage, but I think in that defensive side, being able to make sure that GGEZ maintained that mid control, his saturate was a key part, because so many of these rounds you had RBK and Trinity and Coley kind of playing like that 3-stack towards mid, going for the spam off the back of the saturate, and it was just so much damage being dealt for free, so many kills being dealt for free. RAD Syndicate, it was kind of what slowed them down, because once they got to that 9-5, it seemed like they were going to be able to build up that momentum and possibly run away. But yeah, that consistent mid pressure really keeping things close.
Well, that waylay you're talking about there with Trinity obviously had that massive 3k on the retake, but what I was also talking about with the agent pick itself, up against the Neon, it kind of acts as kind of a nullifying agent. You use the saturate, they try to run in, you deny all the space, their relay bolt doesn't get any value with the stun, so they were kind of on Neon duty there for most of that game, to be fair, which is why they weren't necessarily in the front line getting the frags. DC, though, was absolutely taking care of that. 36 and 15, as we said, so the MVP... I think, you know, I've just already said it. It was no surprise. 319 ACS, a 2.4 KD in a 32-round game. That is nothing to scoff at. DC is just going from strength to strength. And I'll tell you what, I mean, easily the deadliest chamber in this competition, but this guy is an absolute menace.
I mean, we saw it yesterday. I think the question we had in our head before we got into the game was, can you do it again? And he says, by God, yes, I can. And yeah, they're able to completely pop through here. I think that for the side of this GGEZ. I think even though things looked a little bit rough, I think that they were able to patch it through and especially come through in that second half. So kudos to them for keeping their calm in OT, for being able to pull off almost insane 1v3s, both Lightning Fast and DC, being able to put up those numbers there. And yeah, I think that for the side of RAD Syndicate, sure, it sucks to lose a map that was that close, but if they were able to make it that close on their opponent's map pick, they definitely should be feeling better heading into Haven next, because sure, they're definitely looking warmed up right now. They want a little bit of revenge. They want this grand final slot just as bad as their opponents. And yeah, I mean, we saw some nice kills coming in from Tricky. I think he was the team MVP here for RAD Syndicate. It's going to be curious to see what agent he's going to be picking up for the next map here. I would love to see a Phoenix personally. Give me some Ultra farming any day of the week here. But yeah, what a map to start our lower final off here with K-Man. I mean, if this is any indication, I'm kind of scared Haven's going to go for even more rounds the way it's been going.
A 32-round meat grinder there on Corrode. But that's only the first map. We've still got potentially 2 more to go. This series is going to go down to the wire. We have Haven coming up next, a map that both teams are extremely strong on. Stay tuned. You do not want to miss this banger right after this break. Hello and welcome back, everybody. The Ascend Breakpoint Championship, presented by Reloader, is very, very much alive at the moment in this lower final. We have an absolute banger ahead of us. I mean, we've just witnessed map 1, 17-15. There was so much action to be had there. It was a brilliant game over on Corrode, but we're about to head into Haven, Zach, and both teams have been very successful here.
Oh, I think success is an understatement. That game, it went to the limit, and that was just map number 1. GGEZ managing to come out on top in the end, and that was despite 2 of their players having like at least 60 to 100 more ACS than whoever else was on the opposite team. Despite that, it was just so insanely close right now, and I mean, I think this map, it was so neck and neck from the very beginning. In the end, though, GGEZ gonna be able to fix a little bit of their mistakes, and in particular, Lightning Fast just deciding to say, all right, I am the main character. You all aren't getting into my site at any point. Playing off of that Viper util absolutely perfectly. And yeah, GGEZ happy to take it through. I mean, that was their map pick. They're going to be happy to confirm it. Corrode has been one of their cornerstones, a map that they are much better on, at least historically speaking, compared to their opponents. We've seen much more of them coming through, and it was the DC show pretty much most of the first half in OT as well. And either way, they're heading into Haven right now. Let's see if they can keep up the momentum. I do think that we have Asian picks ready to go here. So let's see what these teams are going to be locking in as we head into this map number 2. And I'm so excited to see whether we're going to be continuing to see a double duelist pick to come through. I really did like that, Reina. I wasn't convinced in the first few rounds, but yeah, Tricky definitely putting up a show.
Yeah, 100%. It has been very, very impressive to see. The one concern I did have for GGEZ was their adaptation just came in a little bit late for me in the match. And, you know, obviously it worked out towards OT and they ended up getting through. But if RAD Syndicate can ask those questions and GGEZ don't have the answers early on, we could see a map 3 come out here, because RAD Syndicate, we know they are just so good. I mean, they even pushed veto, the current team in the grand final, to the brink on Haven, right? It was a 13-10 match. It was an excellent game, high quality all around, and this match right here on testing it out. It's definitely been mastered by a lot of these players, especially the two players that are going to be on it in this map, Paradox and DC up here in the head-to-head. I mean, DC was the difference in that game, and a player like Paradox, I'll be honest with you, is going to be crucial, right? On that breach, playing the defensive utility, able to really isolate players and, you know, allow Garv on that Neon to close the gap is going to be essential for this game. Haven, obviously, it's not over just yet. It is just getting started. Map number 2 is here. And GGEZ, can they put the RAD Syndicate to the sword? I mean, the RAD Syndicate have been flawless up until last night, where they did end up going down in that upper final. They hadn't lost. Are they going to bundle out in back-to-back losses, or will they be able to recover?
I mean, I think the one benefit that you can say is, even if you're taking back-to-back losses, I think you would have been able to learn from them perhaps. But yeah, momentum definitely in the favor of GGEZ in this matchup so far, I would say, especially after that win. It's definitely very difficult to mentally recover from losing a game in that regard. Like, you know, you push it to overtime, you go for like 4 of them, and then you end up losing in a very close matchup. So that's definitely gonna hurt if you're a RAD Syndicate fan. But now, you know, you're heading into your own map pick. You've proven yourself successful before. Let's see if they've been able to patch the holes from their previous showing against It's Me Vico. Despite them taking those losses, they're happy to continue pushing on this map. And I think that's also like a degree to how confident they are on it. That said, I mean, in terms of the Asian comps here, I think I do like the double duelist a little bit more, especially with the kind of gameplay that both of these teams have been showing. I think also having the Neon and Waylay gives you that additional bit of advantage, because when you're on that defending side, if your Killjoy can successfully lock something down, you can definitely go in for those aggressive and proactive pushes here. That does seem to be the call already. You have the Neon and the Waylay positioned towards mid, looking for a possible early push here as we start off with the pistol round.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very tense moment here. A lobby control is key for this lineup. I mean, we know the Breach Neon love to dominate around this A space on the map, and that's exactly what the RAD Syndicate start off with here, as they're going to walk down A long. It is only RVK here trying to hold the line. The defensive smoke on the side is going to help out somewhat, but it's actually Trinity to draw first blood.
Trinity gets the shot, but the shock darts from Tricky and the rest of the RAD Syndicate chime in with kills. That's the advantage of these flood takes, and that's just going to leave DC alone. I mean, to be fair, this man is incredible in a clutch. We've seen him pull it off so many times, but a 1v4, yeah, that might just be a little bit too much to ask for. Takes down Deadly, but it's a Pyric victory. Takes a lot of damage in exchange. Yes, second headshot though. All right, things looking a little bit more viable right now, especially with UV being tagged up. You know exactly where he is though, and Paradox is going to be able to peek and take him down. Got a little bit dicey towards the end there, but they're able to take the pistol round. They get the plant, so that's going to be plenty of money, and they're also able to, you know, rescue the Sheriff. So that's probably going to be another excellent entry coming in. But for DC himself, I mean, being able to get these 2 kills as well as his death, that's already going to put him towards 1/3 of his lockdown, which is always useful to have.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, no headhunter, but still finding headshots. DC is just on fire at the moment. 1-0 though to the RAD Syndicate, and it was a great execute, to be fair to them. I mean, that double kill with the shock dart, absolutely insane from Tricky, as we're going to see another one of these shots. We've seen it a few times here. A massive stagger for day long, and it's working. They're going to get plenty of picks. Paradox only replies with 2, and the classic triple stack Thrifty is what's going to be the downfall of the RAD Syndicate.
You know, the first time I saw this play, I think it was in VCT EMEA, and I think it was KC doing it. They had like just all 5 players, you know, just standing on
this EMEA.
They love that, and I really like that we're seeing more of those strategies come into play here. I mean, what else do you want to do in this round? You know that because of the breach and the Neon, like you said, they love to go in for this A lobby control, and I mean, if you're able to, even if you're able to win out your duels and you have the better weaponry, 5 players looking at you is not going to be a pretty sight, especially when you have DC kicking in from short as well. So yeah, things looking much better for this smoke. Economy broken, and through the smoke, DC continuing to do chamber cosplay even if he's not on chamber anymore.
Yeah, the Outlaws here, it's still deadly. It doesn't matter who's using it. Defense are going to cover for DC as well. Coley there to at least trade it, making it a 3v4, denying any weapons as well. The defense are coming in, but it's the attack with the Sheriffs and the Rolling Thunder that reply.
A little bit hasty, perhaps. I mean, the problem is that it's just going to be 1v1 duel. With the Sheriff actually able to find out that first kill. RVK, though, in the 1v1, it's Initiator versus Initiator. Paradox has used all of his utility. No recharge on the fault line either, so it's all going to be a question of timing. RVK, though, has some awareness. It's going to make a little bit of noise, and that might be the difference maker here. Paradox able to reposition towards backside. RVK might not expect this angle. Has to go in for the half stick here, and Paradox perfect on the swing. We talked about the post plan coming in from this man before, and the fact that he has a breach ult available on this third round is just wild to me. That was a thrifty as well, because you did notice that it was a pretty substantial buy coming in for the side of GGEZ. Now they're going to be the ones on this eco-economic footing once again. Thrifty trade for thrifty trade, and yeah, overall UV in particular, along with Paradox, both of them sheriffs in hand, being able to find those 3 kills, denying that one retake from CT. Beautiful work coming in from them. I was a little bit hesitant about the Rolling Thunder being used that early, but it got them the space that they needed to hold that CT line down aggressively, and it worked perfectly.
100%. I mean, look, and that's what I love about ultimates being used early on, right? I mean, we were talking about it in the first half on Corrode where that Viper's Pit just was not used at all, and you know, you can kind of wait for the perfect spot going, no, the Rolling Thunder can be set up, you know, we can take the A site later on. No, you're in the post plan there, 2v2. Let's use it. Let's get the space and recover some weapons. And that was actually the win condition there in the end, because they got the rifles online. They were able to find the trades. So really, really well done there. I love the proactivity of that ultimate to come through, as we are, like we said, in a little bit of that tech pause. But I mean, trading thrifties is just absolutely nuts. And that shows what type of series we're in for here, Zach. I mean, we are in for an absolute movie.
I mean, neither team conceding. It doesn't matter what ends we have. We're going to take the fights nevertheless. Nice little shock dart to try and break the killjoy utility if it's there. But again, you can see that DC was ready for it. It's going to be a very quick execute. And of course, his sight for Trinity, again, just has these TPs in the worst possible spot. You still do have to look at the thing. A very nifty angle. Gets the first, gets the second, finally gets traded out here. And it's a 2v2 at the end of all that. There's that Omen ult available. They're going to get the hell out of dodge with the spike. I think Deadly was able to cut off the rotate here. They know that both these players are towards that site. And yeah, A site is safe for the thought.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not too sure what weapons in hand at the moment, but the positioning can be dangerous. It is a Vandal, so looking for the angle here at the moment. We'll see what Deadly's able to get up to.
One
Shots
enemy remaining.
may come through, but Lightning Fast actually finds him. That triggers UV to go out on the aggression. And on this off angle is insane, but it works out in the end. A great positional play from UV. The 3K comes through, and it's 3-1. The RAD Syndicate, they managed to recover there. I love the patient play from Coley, though, to sit in this smoke for the entire duration and then find a couple freebies. But great awareness from UV there with that from the shadows. I mean, didn't quite get on towards the A set initially, just clicked anywhere on the opposite side of the map, got away, and then clutched things out. A massive, massive round from the Omen.
Yeah, starting to build momentum up for RAD Syndicate, 3-1 right now, and already some of the players are charging up their second cycle of ults. Paradox, of course, 4 out of 9 right now. Exactly what you want to see coming in from your breach. Really focusing on farming up that ult in particular. RVK, though, pulls down the line. Garv gets isolated and gets taken down for absolutely free. No trade in sight right now. UV, of course, is able to see a player off the back of the recon, but some might not connect. And also, yeah, you see them toes, you give them some damage. Coley not quite getting the kill, but still getting a decent chunk of damage. 4v5.
Yeah, 45 here in the defense now. Trying to get a little bit more aggressive and picking Deadly 10 up here. The Saturate is going to land, but the fast lane actually saves the Killjoy there in the end. So means mid presence is still going to be a threat. Dark cover comes down and the Killjoy continues to be a menace, but it's RVK who needs to hold the line here on the side as it hits. Comes through. Paradox and UV double up for a couple of frags, and it's actually going to be the Neon to walk forward into the side, and Lightning Fast alongside Trinity are going to hold the line as Deadly 10 will find DC. Killjoy taking down their opposite number, but it's still a 1v2.
Problem is Spike is dropped. Deadly has to clear out all these angles, and it's just going to be the 1-2 stand-up. I mean, it's going to take a lot to be able to do that spray transfer, especially with the Vandal. And at least Lightning Fast happy to take out that trade. But yeah, I think that little bit of push, despite the aftershock, you know, the fact that Lightning Fast decides to charge forward, I don't think that RAD Syndicate were ready for it. And he's able to capitalize and find those 2 huge kills. Trinity, of course, chiming in with one of his own off the back of the space that Lightning Fast was able to garner. And yeah, we're gonna be seeing a little bit of a shutdown of the economy here for the side of the RAD Syndicate. They're still gonna have a hero rifle on guard, but yeah, last round RBK of course playing hard angle inside, being able to find those crystal kills definitely helps, but that does not help. DC with the Guardian spam. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, good shots come out here. We've also got the convergence being looked to be used in towards mid to try and deny some of that aggression as Lightning Fast with that charge is looking to hold the space. Trinity's just going to walk out, look for the pick and recall. Very nice proactivity coming out from the Waylay. You're going to use all of their utility to try and get out of dodge. They can't avoid the stun. They have to stand and deliver, and they do just that.
One enemy remaining.
Oh man, they also catch Paradox out, and RBK finishes him off with the ult. It's just gonna be deadly right now. I mean, like, he's still looking very deadly. Beautiful headshots come to on the Sheriff, but Lightning Fast with the Judge. Happy to slide in and finish the job here. GGEZ, nice recovery in these last rounds. And yeah, this round in particular, we were talking about how Trinity might have had a quieter game. He looks much more on home on this particular map. And yeah, despite the stun connection, and to be fair, of course, the Neon was low. But being able to find those two kills and of course be ready for the trade, I think the positioning coming in from GGEZ on this defensive side just looks really, really good. And yeah, RAD Syndicate finally going to have a buy again. Looking at the ultimates here, both sides, DC in particular has a lockdown ready to go. They've got so many retake ults right now for GGEZ, but Paradox one ult away from his own Rolling Thunder. So let's see which one they're going to invest in. It's going to be the conversion shots to come through first though, but nice little stun to counter. The problem is Garv is taken down by Lightning Fast. RBK and Lightning Fast going for a push off the back of the conversion shots. They take down Deathly, at least at the first one, going in their favor. But look at this, that alarm button is broken. It's enough for them to be able to find that kill. Get the second as well, zipping and zooming around. It's going to be these double duelists to just be an absolute menace right now. And yeah, nothing more that you can really do there. I think that entire round was less than 30 seconds. K-Man, wow, what a play it was.
I'm sort of shaking my head, a little bit surprised that Paradox just going for the spike plant there with no dark cover towards A lane. There was just no consideration of a defender on that line and kind of just gave their life away there, unfortunately. But, I mean, that fight was well and truly well played, though, towards A lobby, though. Lightning Fast walking up A long, realizing nobody's going to challenge there because all the noise is being made towards short. Got the flank and immediately shut down any pressure there. Made it very, very difficult for the attackers to get anything going towards the middle of the map, as this is now where they're heading here. And you've got Garv walking up with the frenzy on the Neon. They take Garage, but DC shuts it down.
Ooh, they're able to get it, and that's such a crucial kill as well. That's gonna
the overdrive used as well.
Yeah, side access garnered. They're able to get the spike down. Paradox does have it for the post plant, but look at this double flank to come in. I mean, RBK as well as Garv have been so willing to get aggressive right now. Attacker lockdown invested. Oh, it's going to be actually Yubi to find that first kill, but immediate refrag from RBK. They know that he's here as well. Deadly going to be the player on the line. That lockdown buying a little bit of time here. They have to find these kills before the lockdown takes it. Oh, God. You don't want that to happen. No. It's just going to be Coley now in the 1v2 with the Paranoia, looking to play aggressive. But Deadly with the Sheriff is definitely living up to his name here. Shuts down RBK, shuts down Kobe, and RAD Syndicate, they find another Thrifty off the back of that ult.
Well, I gotta say, UV definitely got one more than I would have there against the Neon. Lovely shot for the Sheriff, but the knife coming out from Paradox, that's confidence right there. RAD Syndicate looking to have a little bit of fun with it as they even things up yet again. It's very similar feeling to what we saw in Corrode as well, Zach, I gotta say. Early on, RAD Syndicate looking good, getting a little ahead of the game. GGEZ pull it right back, and now we're seeing it balance out. This is looking to be a super even contest through and through.
Looking to do work right now. I mean, that Thrifty, it's definitely going to do wonders for the economy for the side of RAD Syndicate. They were struggling a little bit after losing 3 rounds in a row, but exactly the burst of hope that they needed, so as to speak, and a little bit more proactivity here. It's going to be a full retake setup coming in for the RAD Syndicate, and for GGEZ, and that makes sense because they have a lockdown of their own right now. Deadly, though, on this lurk, looking to cut off the rotation. Oh, they spot him out as well, so Coley might actually look to take that fight in this 1v1. And even if the stun doesn't connect, the shot doesn't, definitely shuts down the Killjoy. Defender lockdown to come in. It looks like they want to push it with the help of this Rolling Thunder. 1-for-1 trade though. Paradox ready to watch the flank. It's going to be a 3v4, but the spike is still ticking.
One
Trinity
enemy
and Paradox
remaining.
between them just doing absolute work. The breach for the 2K on track for the 3. Coley now with a 1v3.
Yeah, this is looking very, very dicey here, but it's being controlled to the end. I mean, if you're wondering what the heck was going on there in that post plant, I think most of us were asking that question. There's about 6 different fights breaking out across the map. It was going a bit chaotic, but it was well played by the RAD Syndicate there. That is why that Rolling Thunder getting online for the second time in the half was so important. Being able to counter the lockdown was super important here. As here we go, Paradox having a bit of word to the team. This time out here looking like there's some sort of issue they want to address, and I think it's got to be around the rest of their general map control. I think when they take A long and they're taking the A site, they've really got no problems. When they start exploring other areas, there's a little bit of that disconnect. So I don't know if there's some sort of game plan here around possibly some sort of garage take, because I think that they've been good in getting the initial space. When it comes to actually hitting the site, things have looked a little bit dicey, and it's kind of taken a little bit of individual brilliance to pull them out of trouble on a few occasions. So we'll see what this timeout is going to produce, but yeah, this definitely could be some sort of conditioning that they want to try to abuse here. Maybe a bit of A lobby space taken, or maybe it is just a bit of a pause, just trying to get everyone to take a deep breath, because that was a very chaotic round.
I mean, I needed deep breath after that round, so I completely understand how the players feel. But I do want to point out that Paradox was really, really ready for it. I think that they expected the retake play to come in from GGEZ since they knew that VC had the lockdown available. So, you know, they made a push on 2 fronts. You had the mid push coming in from Lightning Fast, as well as I think it was Trinity to be able to go through. And of course, Paradox on the other side countered it with that Rolling Thunder to try and make sure that that lockdown didn't find its impact. That CT push was just absolutely inspired, and yeah, that round win gonna shut down the economy here for GGEZ 2 rounds in a row, and yeah, they just go down here despite, and RAD Syndicate take back the lead. Not the greatest buy, not too many ultimates either online to try and compensate. That overdrive would have been nifty to have, but I mean, to be fair, Bucky in the hands of a Neon is still pretty terrifying.
Yep, 100%. It is a weapon that Lightning Fast has been very successful with as well. Knows how to use it. So you are going to see the RAD Syndicate here. They were expecting some sort of aggression, though. You can see 40 seconds have been down here off the clock, and they're waiting for some sort of a peak. They know this is going to be a thrifty buy, but GGEZ instead, they're trying to call the bluff here of their opponents and just making stew, waiting for that time to tick down as the Sova is found here towards a site. Has been playing on their own quite often, so the second player in towards short could cause a bit of trouble later on, Zach.
Ooh, RBK tries to go in for the swing, but not able to hit the first bullet. Trinity gets the trade, though, able to get out as well. So that is going to be 4v4 that we're looking at right now. Nice, cute little TP for some information. Player spotted under Heaven in this angle. Going to be a bit of a regroup. A way towards the regroup right now. A lot of damage done by Lightning Fast with that dink, but not able to confirm the kill. The problem is they just don't have the firepower in comparison. And yeah, RAD Syndicate looking to close things out kill by kill. Coley with the Stinger. Could possibly find one more, but instead it's spammed from his counterpart on the other side to come through. RAD Syndicate push their lead to 2 rounds right now, and yeah, I feel like that timeout, it helped them a lot, and they were definitely able to come up with a strategy for sure. But now Trinity is the one with the operator.
Indeed. So we'll see what comes out of this play, and we are going to see the attackers heading back towards that garage split. I mean, their A-take has just been so strong. Like, the RAD Syndicate, genuinely, every time they've gone there, they've looked absolutely flawless. This right here is going to be the test. I'm assuming the timeout was something to do with this type of play where they go in to take garage. We'll see if there's an adjustment. We'll see if there's something else here. It looks like the Neon is just trying to go quickly and isolate the Killjoy on the side. We'll see whether or not they're able to do it. But for now, luckily for DC, having a Neon there with the fast lane enables the Killjoy to get away, and they will play this retake 5v5.
Yeah, Hunter's Fury though still available, a little bit late, but able to get that first tag. Deadly finds the opening, killed onto Coley. No more smokes available for this retake, and this post plant, it expands to both garage as well as site. They're just gonna get the spike down. The Hunter's Fury stops it from going down at least for a little bit, but it doesn't really find anything apart from a bit of chip damage. And look at Deadly tucked away into the corner. They have so much map control right now, and RAD Syndicate seems like they just do anything wrong. 3 for the Killjoy. It is just gonna be Trinity left the best thing that you can hope for right now in terms of an outcome if you're a GGEZ fan is him being allowed to save this operator. But look at this. It's going to be a full-on map hunt coming in from RAD Syndicate. They do not want him saving.
We'll see if he's able to. He's playing a little bit of an unorthodox position, so I'm not too sure if they are going to find him on the timer. Ticking down with that spike as they have cleared out towards spawn. Paradox is going to use that stun. Oh, they are going to find him. They're going to have the time here. Needs to hit the collat. Only found the one. Unlucky. As it is going to be 7-4. The operator not saved either.
In the half.
And now heading into round 12, what are their options here at the moment? It's going to be a few half armors coming out. On the other side of things, it has just been the rifles. And that is the one thing I will say, Zach, that we haven't seen a lot of this series in general is that outlaw buy. I mean, this would be the perfect time for it if you ask me. Instead, it's UV buying the operator here. This is where I'd love to see, instead of that op, make it an outlaw and go for some sort of chip damage early on against the half armor.
I mean, yeah, also just the outlaw, you have like a slightly higher fire rate. Talking about fire rate now, though, a little bit of cheeky spam. We've seen it coming in before. One player they spotted out towards B, they know where Coley is, so yeah, definitely looking to cause a little bit of pandemonium. It's just a bait and switch attempt, though. There's still that perfect crossfire towards the main. Convergent pods come in, and before they even kick in, it's gonna be the perfect swing. They find two players off the back of it. Garva and Deadly to taken down, and with Deadly going down, that opens up attack lanes all across the map here. They can push anywhere they like. Spike dropped in an awkward spot. They're going to be able to pick it up at the very least, but now they have to play out this 3v5 and try to find those refrags, which is going to be very difficult because, again, look at this. The rest of GGEZ have fallen way back. They're happy to try and play on these trades right now, knowing that they have a big advantage.
Paradox here is going to be crucial. Needs to find a pick and a spike plan for a third Rolling Thunder, but I think under this much pressure, needs the teammates to bail him out. Here, they're going to triple face in towards B. UV finds an opener. Can they find another one unanswered? That is going to be the question here, as it looks like the attackers are going to try and head towards Garage. Look for some space towards the seaside.
UV doing his best to be an absolute menace right now. Might find the timing on this lurk, and that's such an important kill. Coley caught by the paranoia. Paradox with the swing off the back of it, and suddenly this 3v5 has become a 3v2. Insane place to come through at the end of it, and UV, despite not having the angle, able to hit the flick onto RVK. What should have been a GGEZ round completely collapses in front of them right now, and yeah, it's just gonna have to be DC to try and pick up the pieces. He's been incredible before in the clutch, but yeah, clock is ticking. No information about the positions. And the first fight he has to take is the player in the corner. Spot checks it, doubles back. It is the Omen, and QV with a 4K to bail out RAD Syndicate. After that, the blitz will start to the round. 8-4 half at the end of it, and yeah, RAD Syndicate definitely looking to start building that momentum up. So far, they've won 3 out of 3 pistols, if I'm not wrong, in the series. And if they can get a 4th, this should pretty much be a lock-in on their map.
Backs against the wall. Survival on the line. We have a tech pause coming through, but it is the RAD Syndicate to win 5 rounds in a row to close out the half and take an 8-4 lead. This is so intense at the moment. A great attacking half there. Saw a lot of different win conditions. Like I said, A site for them. They were able to be so comfortable on, really nail it down. But when it came towards that adjustment in towards mid, I like the patient play there. They did get called out by the converging paths of the Waylay, but in the end, it didn't quite matter as they were able to triple face in towards that B site. UV went absolutely nuclear there in the end. I think got 4 picks, and that is the way to close out the half. Got to be feeling good after that round if you are a RAD Syndicate fan. If you're a GGEZ fan, though, they need your energy. This has been where I think they've been here before in this situation here, where they've been in the lead of the series, and it was against the RAD Syndicate. I'm just pulling it up now just to see. They actually did win the second map, not the first. So it was even won by the RAD Syndicate last time they played this map. So we'll see whether or not we're going to see the same result this time around, or whether or not GGEZ have something special cooked up on their attack.
I mean, I think that the attacking side is where they were kind of thriving in the opening of that previous map. I think they were doing a really phenomenal job of being able to keep the pressure up. Let's see if they can continue to do that this time around. But I think the RAD Syndicate so far have looked a little bit more dynamic in terms of not just being able to come back from that initial disadvantage, but also in terms of like their post plans and the rest of their gameplay. They're also like really in sync with each other. Like that last round, for example, in that 3v5, they knew that there was a player towards that C link and you could see the paranoia coming in. It wasn't Yuvi going in for the peak, but Paradox through Garage who swings in. They were just so aware of their opponent's positioning, and they've been doing a great job of consistently being able to cut off those rotates. Really good IGLing coming in from the RAD Syndicate side so far, and yeah, I mean, the momentum is definitely in their favor. The first half of the map was a little bit neck and neck, trades coming through back and forth, 30s coming through back and forth, but yeah, towards the tail end, it is going to be the attack will recover, and they didn't even need an operator towards the end of it. I think Yuvi he did what I do when I have a lot of money left in rank, you know, when I have like 9k and I have nothing else to do. Buy yourself an operator, get yourself an extra rifle, you know, even get yourself a little sheriff. And him being able to switch from the op to the rifle very quickly and just go in for taking those 3vx duels on B side was what kind of saved the round there for RAD Syndicate.
100%, as you know, hopefully this player issue, I believe it is, on this tech pause will be resolved very shortly, and we'll get into this next half. But yeah, I mean, this has just been a very, very interesting game. There's been a lot of situations that could have gone back and forth. And I'll tell you what, if the RAD Syndicate can pull this off, we've got to talk about those thrifties, right? I believe, was it 2 thrifties that they won, or was it 3? It was more than one. I know that much. So it was 2. Yeah, it was just the 2. So yeah, look, winning those 2 thrifties, throwing the economy out the window for GGEZ really messed up their flow and made it very difficult for GGEZ, as we can see the players having a bit of fun in the cams and just keeping the vibes up nice and high. That's something that's really, really important in these tech pauses, being able to make sure you're keeping the mental up, not getting frustrated here. Just use this as a mental reset, and that is going to be the key. But you can just feel the tension between these teams right now, Zach. Both teams know what's on the line, but the RAD Syndicate with a 4-round lead, this sets up this second map absolutely perfectly.
100%. I think that, especially after losing the first map in such a close game, I was wondering like how RAD Syndicate we're gonna recover, especially after that first half was so neck and neck. But they're able to come back, and not only that, I think Paradox getting that cheeky little knife as well is definitely doing wonders for motivation. Yeah, if you get knifed, it's definitely not a good feeling, especially if you're trapped after a killjoy, just missing out on the timing narrowly. Talking about timing though, we're gonna be heading into this pistol round. A straightforward A hit seems to be the call, at least off the moment right now. Lightning Fast spotted in short, takes up a decent amount of space, and now they're gonna give the impression of falling back, maybe cutting some noise. But UV, that's the lurk taken down, and Deadly on the flank as well. It's gonna make things so difficult. Beautiful swing, Tricky finds both kills, and yeah, despite the stun, Lightning Fast is able to find the kill off the back of it, but it's still a 3v2.
They can get the spike though. The spike's still down. I don't think Deadly can see it though in short. I think that little slant is defending that information, but found Lightning Fast now, and the Neon is going to get taken down, and that's the spike. So the Neon is taken out. Coley can't do it in the 1v3, as Paradox will come through on a bit of a drive-by there. 9-4, and I got to say that flank, that lurk up in mid was way too early there in the first 10 seconds, being all the way up. It's just giving your opponents a chance to just go for a pretty regulation clear of that space and just finding you there. It's certainly a little bit frustrating, I think, for the attackers, because immediately that indicated the A hit was coming through. 9-4, the RAD Syndicate, they keep themselves on top here. Another pistol round 1. I believe that's all pistols going their way.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a perfect record so far today. If it goes to a map 3, let's say if they can keep it up, and it seems like they want it to go to a map 3. Nice little dodge of the breach utility there. A bit of noise made towards B. Gotta bring out that first guard cover. Deadly is first with the Sheriff, looking to do the damage. Gets 2, in fact, before 30 finally shuts him down. On the opposite side, it's UV to swing off the back of it. At least 1 kill to come through to deny the flawless, but it's very little consolation as they are able to close it out pretty much flawlessly otherwise. 4 players left alive. Pretty nice set plays there. I mean, of course, Deadly takes that first contact, gets a couple of kills for himself, and off the back of that swing, it's going to be UV to kind of clean things out. And I think the thing that I like most about the defense coming in from RAD so far is how proactive they're being. Last round it was Deadly pushing out C long. This round it was Garv pushing out A long. They've been getting so much information. So I think that a little bit of a slower gameplay coming in from GGEZ, a little bit of defaulting might help them out the way that RAD Syndicate are playing.
Yeah, we'll see. And a lobby fight is coming out though, and Lightning Fast will reply,
wow.
but what a shot by Tricky. Make it 2 to have a couple of belters to open things up here, but at the end of the day, it is going to be this 2v2 scenario. It does look like Trinity and RVK are going to get themselves on towards the spike side, and They're going to try and tap the spike towards the back of A. They're actually going to walk through here. They may actually end up just fully rotating. If they can find a clear open space here on CT, they're going to know for sure that the flank is coming through. We'll see whether or not the defense react to that. You can see the Killjoy is already going back. Deadly already on the way back towards that C side. It now becomes a race as a spike will be planted here. It will be a 2v2, but the information for this defense is going to be there. So a really nice retake.
Deadly takes the turret back, so it wouldn't give his position away. And they're not aware of the flank. He's able to get the first one. RBK gets the trade, but Paradox off the back of that swing. They convert this bonus round, and yeah, that might just be the coffin, the nail in the coffin here. I like this play. I think Fast able to get the first one, but off the back of that paranoia, and of course some really nice martial headshots from Tricky. Again, like you said, keeping things down in that 2v2, and I mean, it was a good call for sure to go towards CT, but I think once the spike didn't go down after an extended period of time, I think the IGL and the rest of RAD Syndicate kind of realized, okay, they're probably gonna go towards CT, towards C, and perfect gameplay coming towards that end of the round.
8 rounds in a row though for the RAD Syndicate. They are on a tear at the moment. Can they make it 9? That's gonna be the question here. GGEZ. No sign of response just yet, but now with rifles in hand, maybe, just maybe they can find something running fast. Caught out by the aftershock, trying to play the corner. That is a big, big misplay there, as they will be punished. The first blood going the way of the defense, and the outlaw for Gov. Like I said, we haven't seen it much, but it has an immediate effect, and now Deadly is able to walk up on this flank so quickly. There's no chance GGEZ will be aware of it.
They're just crunching them in right now. Trinity checks the corner, hits the saturate, might be able to find this kill onto Tricky along with RBK, so at least that's gonna get some space for the spike to go down. But you mentioned it, this outlaw, it has been such a difference maker, knowing that these players lost that round, knowing that they have to invest in this one, and they're gonna have to compromise on armor if they want to have any kind of semblance of guns here. Still though, even numbers, that he's already on site. One player stunned, but oh my god, RBK, that might be the kill that clutches the round here. Conversion pots invested as well, slows down Paradox. RBK gets spotted out, but Trinity there for the cover. It's just gonna be Paradox right now in this post plant, and yeah, Trinity and RBK between them do it all. What a round coming in from RBK, a 3K for him, and just the positional awareness to consistently shut down these retakers one by one off the back of the conversion pots coming in from Trinity. That was a much needed round to keep GGEZ alive in this.
Trinity keeping them alive indeed. This Waylay pick, maybe a bit quiet on map 1, certainly making all the noise here in the second, as finally GGEZ break the round win streak here by the RAD Syndicate. 11-5 is now the score. Is that going to ignite some sort of a comeback here? We're going to find out. They will be up against an eco. This is a good chance to get themselves to 6, but they want to keep this as clean as possible. Their economy not in the greatest position, but DC's going to find Deadly, and that's a good start. So much tension here being built up as DC is going to find UV as well. The Bulldog is going to get the second pick, and the spike plant is going to be going down here, Zach, so it makes it a 3v5.
Yeah, gonna be a very difficult retake. I mean, yeah, you still have some weaponry in hand that you can try to work with. You start with Spear in the corner here if you're Paradox. Not gonna check it though, and DC happy to get that kill and pick up that Vandal as an upgrade. Both players towards A-Link, a lot of spam coming through, the Paranoia doesn't connect, but it's so much utility being given down this lane, no way for them to really break through here, and yeah, it seems like they're gonna go in for the open push. A little bit of a mistake, Coley gets the first one, and I think Fast happy to show off exactly why the Neon is such a pain to play against, as GGEZ get a second round in this defensive side.
Look, to be fair, Gov's done that to everybody so far in this tournament. They're splitting kills, so, you know, why not have one back your way, mate? See how you feel about it. But that is a great round. And DC, I gotta say, it was, you know, not having the impact that we saw. It's not the 30 bomb we saw in Corrode, but that is a big, big round to step up on. When it's an anti-eco, to have a couple of players going down and still being able to find those picks against the Sheriff is huge. So they get themselves to 6 here. If they can keep getting the round by round, is certainly give them every chance to get back into this. Couple of ultimates could be online very soon as well, which is going to play a crucial role in these rounds.
Honestly, invested early on here by RDK, trying to smoke out perhaps one of the anchors for the C site, but look at this. 3 players are on C and Garage right now, looking to do a lot of damage. You did see the Neon go in, push through, break both the turret as well as the alarm bot here for the Killjoys. That makes it even more difficult. The problem here is that you have this player isolated in the corner. He's not stunned though, and Deadly happy to confirm the kills from here. Crossfire between him and Yubi paying huge dividends right now, and yeah, a little bit of a TP peek. We've seen these coming before. It's all up to DC as well as Coley. Again, Yubi timing in with another frag. It's all up to Yeoman. What can he really do here, Coley? Forced to fall back, Guardian and Garv continuing to be an absolute menace, and it's going to be match point for the RAD Syndicate. They might have looked a little bit slow in the last 2 rounds, but they more than recovered in this one. Again, Deadly being able to isolate the fights off the back of that Molly and Alarm Bot, as well as UV rotating in time. Heroics coming in from RAD Syndicate.
UV and Paradox right now are just doing so much for their team, not only in the fragging department, but also in the assists, combining for 24 assists and 42 kills. These 2 players here, the Breach and the Omen, are having an outstanding performance on Haven at the moment, as there will be a timeout called. I believe this one is the tactical kind, so we will be just discussing some strats here, as we can see. A couple of players having a bit of a chat, making sure they can get their strategies right. But I mean, GGEZ, what are you going to do? How are you going to get back into this game? Because the success that they have found has kind of just been on a few multi-frags, right? It hasn't necessarily been a set play with good utility layering. It's really just been the way that, you know, it's been the way that they've won gunfights. It's really been the positions they've been able to open things up and really get some value out of their gameplay. But yeah, in terms of their tactics, in terms of an execute, I haven't seen enough from them just yet here, Zach. We've got to find something.
100%. I think that you can see the difference. It's like night and day between these 2 teams in terms of like how prepared they look on this map. And I also feel like the pick of the Breach actually does a lot to counter both the Neon as well as the Waylay. And I think Paradox in particular, you mentioned the number of assists. He's been having so much impact, just setting up his teammates to be able to find that success that they need. Again, Garv got to be able to take early A lobby control. Only going to be the Omen really watching the angle. The rest of the team looking for the straightforward C execute. Deadly, though, has just been such a good anchor. Already getting so much damage here on the spam there towards the Killjoy. Look at this, though. Coley with the Paranoia ready to go. They expect this push. I don't know if it's going to connect, though, with Garv. He's just jiggling, holding the off angle. Gets spotted out, though. So at least now forced to fall back.
Yeah, that A lobby control is being fought for here. But GGEZ again. Now they've smoked themselves off. What is their answer here? Are they going to cross into short? It looks like that is the intention. But are they just going to try to hit straight out of short, or are they waiting for some sort of aggression? 40 seconds already gone off the clock. So we head into the last 45 seconds of this round. This is do or die right now. They're going to contact up towards A long. They're going to try and execute on this site, but we can already see the relay bolt is going to deny that space. And while there is a hit, a pick over towards Deadly 10, over towards Garage, the entire team is going to try and leave and go towards this C site. Paradox catches wind of it, is rewarded with a pick, but Deadly 10 finds another.
Just the time is so low. They have to plant ASAP. Lightning Cross trying to take the space off the back of this ultimate here. The Paranoia, though, is perfect. They're not even able to get the spike down. It's going to be an ultimate on the other side. And Garv goes huge. Absolutely ballistic. The double for him. Paradox to clean things out. Both players getting 2 kills each. And it is going to be the RAD Syndicate taking this map 13-6. One of the more dominant maps we've seen in this tournament in these last few days, I would say. And yeah, we are definitely going to be going to a map number 3. I mean, I think, you know, every single, like a personal note here, every single game that I've casted so far has been a 2-0. So it's nice that I finally managed to break that pace. It's not me doing it, guys. It's not my fault. But jokes apart, I mean, it was just a beautiful showing from RAD Syndicate. They look so prepared in terms of strats, in terms of just being able to maintain this space, keep the pressure up on their opponents, and build up an insane amount of momentum. I think think, of course, for the side of GGEZ, they did have some good individual moments come out, but that was kind of a majority of their 6 rounds there, individual moments, whether it was RVK stepping up and getting a 3K, or Trinity or Lightning Fast stepping up and getting a 3K. Despite that double duelist, they just looked so discomfited on that defensive side, because there was just no space given up by RAD Syndicate for free.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, the Neon voice line at the end kind of summed up their attack. Too slow. There was just too many opportunities for the defense to get the rotate and beat them to the jump. And that was kind of the story of the game. I mean, the RAD Syndicate, they just had the read every single time because there was just so much time of the clock being lost. And it was because they were kind of freezing. Rather than just exploring the map and getting a lurk timing, they were freezing. They were waiting for something to happen. And when no pressure was found for the RAD Syndicate, they were a bit more proactive on their defense, and they were able to beat them on the rotate. So that was really, really well done. We'll take a look at the team summary now as we are getting into the stats, and we'll see how these players match up against each other in just a little bit. But just in terms of team play, GGEZ coming out with 11 first kills and only managing to convert just over half of those into round wins.
Yeah, not ideal. I mean, especially when you consider that they were able to find those opening picks. It's just that despite you saw so many of these rounds where it was a 4v5 or a 3v5 for RAD Syndicate, or even like a 2v4, and they were able to just work absolute magic to make things come back. And I think a lot of that has to do with the positions that they were holding. Like on their attacking side, you consistently see Deadly being like an absolute menace on the lurk, shutting down the Neon as well as the Waylay. And on the defensive side as well, RAD Syndicate seemed to be the ones completely in control. They had those crossfires. Deadly was anchoring C like nobody's business, getting at least 1 or 2 before being shut down. If at all, he was shut down at all. So yeah, RAD Syndicate just completely prepared. Let's take a look at the leaderboard to see who is going to be fragging out on top. I want to know who won the battle between Paradox and UV, because both of them had some incredible rounds. And yeah, UV barely going to come out on top with 23 kills. A little bit more ACS though. And yeah, I mean, both him and Paradox between them, 25 assists. I think that's more than the entire opposite team has put together. It's the same amount, actually.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, look, the team play was phenomenal there. Even Garv getting 8 assists on the Neon, just using the stun, able to have the space filled out by everybody. It was a complete team performance there by the RAD Syndicate, and that's what you want to see in a lower final, especially just when you thought we had seen enough Valorant. 32 rounds on one map wasn't enough Valorant. Let's go to map 3. Thursday to 6 here on Haven. The RAD Syndicate, they take their own map picks. So both sides are going to be taking their map picks, which leads us to a decider. But before we get into that, of course, we have to go and check out the MVP. Who was the player that made the difference in this one? And to nobody's surprise here, it was UV on the Omen.
I mean, yeah, he had so many impactful rounds. I think it was round 4 or round 5. I think it was like a 2v4 situation. He gets 2 kills on the side, gets TPs over to A. Deadly ready to catch the rotation, of course. And even though Deadly goes down, he's able to clutch out the 1v2. I think that's the one clutch that he did get. And overall, not just his kills, like in terms of raw frags, he was just there getting the trades, going right behind Garv, going right behind Paradox. And yeah, even if Garv went down so often, he was the one to take the space there. Like you said, getting the stuns in, getting the space in, and enabling UV and Paradox to kind of clean up whatever was left on the site. So yeah, the Yeoman gonna be the MVP here. Really, really good performance coming in from the RAD Syndicate, and they're definitely gonna be feeling very much in control now, with the momentum shifting firmly in their favor after this map. Because the first map, it was very, very back and forth. GGEZ, even if they had won it, they were probably exhausted by it. But now RAD Syndicate, they are gonna be the ones with all the confidence in the world. 13-6 on their own map pick. That's gonna definitely help them feel a lot more energized going into this last map.
100%. Speaking of the last map, it is going to be Sunset. A bit of an ironic name there. It's the Sunset on one of these teams' competitions. They will be exiting, but for the victor, it is going to be a ticket to the grand final. This series has given us everything so far, and there's still a bit more Valorant to be played. Don't go anywhere. We're going to a quick break, but when we're back, it is map 3 and it is Sunset.
Welcome everyone to the lower final, or rather, let me say, welcome back everyone to the lower final of the Ascend Breakpoint Championship. We are heading to map number 3, and it has just been an absolute banger game so far. If for people just tuning in, if you want a little bit of a recap, map number 1 was 17-15, 4 overtimes before GGEZ were able to take down their map pick. But RAD Syndicate, they struck back on map number 2, K-Man, and I think it was one of the most fast maps development we've seen so far.
Stamping their authority on Haven, as they have done so often in this tournament so far. And it has led to a third map in this series. And yeah, I mean, you summed it up beautifully here. This is for a spot in this grand final, which is still to be played. It's hard to believe this isn't the final with how close and intense it is. But of course, we know how good of a quality team veto is, who is waiting for these teams in that grand final slot already. So there is a lot of action still to be had. We are heading to Sunset. And it is really, really interesting here in the map vetoes, if you can recall, because GGEZ, they have picked to start on defense. Now, I mean this with all the respect in the world for the RAD Syndicate. Last time they played on Sunset, their defense was abysmal. Like, there was just so many holes in it. They lost a lot of numbers. They weren't able to find any sort of success. If, obviously, GGEZ picking to start on defense is risky because the Red Syndicate's attack, on the other hand, was phenomenal. They were doing everything right. So maybe GGEZ's thought process is if we can have a solid half here on defense, get ourselves even maybe 4 rounds, that could be enough because of how many weaknesses they could pick in the defense of the Red Syndicate. We'll see whether or not it pays off. And look, obviously, that Red Syndicate are a quality team. They can obviously do their VOD reviews, work on it. I'm sure there would have been a lot of talks around that defense because, like I said, there's a lot to fix up and they should definitely be prepared to be better. But I find it really interesting that GGEZ have chosen to allow the Red Syndicate to start on their stronger side.
Yeah, I feel like it's a double-edged sword here because you kind of want them to, you want to get their good side over with so you can exploit the holes in the other side. But the problem here is that, like you said, RAD Syndicate, they've been looking very, very convincing on this attacking side so far. I mean, we saw a glimpse of it on Haven, if that's any kind of indication of what is to come on Sunset. And I don't know if you want to give them such a huge lead unless, of course, you have a game plan in mind. It could be very, very dangerous, especially, we've seen that RAD Syndicate, when they get that early momentum and they're able to maintain it, it's very difficult for you to come back against it, especially, we just saw a glimpse of that on Haven and it's just been so dominant coming in from them. They're going to have the momentum as well heading into this series. I think one more thing that for the RAD Syndicate has been very exciting to see from them is the fact that they've won 4 out of 4 pistols so far in this series. That's given them like 8 rounds in a row to start things off with, 8 rounds off the back of it, or 7 rounds off the back of it. There was that thrifty on Haven that they lost. But aside from that, it has been excellent work coming in from them. And if they can keep that pistol win percentage high and possibly flawless, it's going to give them a huge buff heading into Sunset.
Yeah, well, the one interesting thing, as we are going to head into the agent picks and sort of see what the players are going to be picking, the one interesting thing for me that I've got to say is the last time these two teams clashed, Sunset was a 13-11 scoreline, and it was the Red Syndicate who had a 10-2 attacking half. So that shows that, they've done it before GGEZ starting defense coming back, but it was a 13-11 heartbreak. Is that going to be a bit of foreshadowing? Because I mean, GGEZ as well, we got to, based off those stats, just say that their defense also needs a lot of work. So, I mean, look, I've already made the point earlier today that your defense is going to win championships. It is going to be the definition of, the defining factor of this game.
I mean, it's not just these two teams. I think that's been kind of the theme of the tournament. Attacking sides have been looking great, whether it's been Asterisk, whether it's been Team Vico, whether it's been these two teams. Everybody looks great on the attack, but the defense is where the struggle really seems to begin here. And I think that it's going to have to be very, very careful gameplay if you are starting off on the defensive side. GGEZ, I hope they have a game plan heading into this one. I think on for the first map here, I think on Corrode, they were able to put up a pretty stellar defense. I mean, the half ended in a 7-5 for RAD Syndicate, but that was off the back of the pistol, so it was pretty much even Stevens here. Probably the most even defensive side we've seen coming in across this tournament, I would say, apart from the occasional 6-6 half or so. But I think that for the RAD Syndicate, I think they've been given a gift that they didn't ask for here in being allowed to start on the attacking side. Both teams opting for the mirror comp right now, so no counter picks here. It's all going to come down to who is better on this map, who is able to hit their shots, who is able to, kind of find those crucial trades. And I think that was a big theme as well for map number 2, because in terms of trades, GGEZ were just struggling. So many of those picks were just given up for absolutely free. Within like the first 20 seconds of the round, there was a 3v5 or a 2v5 or whatever. And I think the RAD Syndicate definitely keeping the pressure up, keeping things going in that aspect.
Well, the one other question, and the fact that we're going to get an answer to very quickly, is can GGEZ win a pistol, right? Because they've lost every pistol so far. They still managed to go to an OT victory, but they lost both pistols in the next game, and we saw the difference there. They just could not get into the game early in either one of those halves, and we could see a big disparity in that scoreboard. So, I mean, look, if GGEZ can go on to win a pistol, if they can get themselves into this game early, especially on their defense, and set up some sort of a lead for the RAD Syndicate to chase, that could definitely be a huge factor in this game. But we are very, very close to getting into it, as I believe the countdown is on. Ladies and gentlemen, get your spams in chat. Hashtag RAD, hashtag GGEZ. Who are you guys supporting? Let us know in the chat. Get behind your favorite team. Support your players. They need your energy here. It has been a marathon of a series, and it is going to conclude here on Sunset. Map 3 is getting started.
One way or the other, let's see how this goes out and who is going to be the second grand finalist of today. Talking about that though, proactivity, we've talked about it a lot across the course of the series. It is going to be the Yuto broken early on here, and Garv finding that crucial first blood off the back of that neon slide. Oh god, that's going to hurt. Trinity though, just able to find the counter. There's going to be some nice trades to come in. Paradox on the Omens, that's in the corner though, finds two of his own, shuts down both RBK. That's going to make it a 2v3, make that a 1v3. Paradox just kicking in high order, and RAD Syndicate look like they're going to be able to close out yet another pistol. Definitely having to do it all here, trying to find some kind of damage, but it's just not going to happen. A 5th pistol for RAD Syndicate and a 4K for Paradox on this moment. Really, really nice round.
Had an insane Haven performance, backing it up again here early on Sunset. Paradox tucking in behind the box, getting those huge 2 picks early on just to equalize the numbers, and then finishing it off with another 2. Beautiful round by the RAD Syndicate, taking up towards top mid. Great space taking from the Neon as well, able to go nice and quick up there. A good start for the attack, and GGEZ again will be on the back foot.
Yeah, losing that pistol, not very helpful. Garv is off the back of that kill. I'm gonna have enough money for this Marshall purchase. Nice little stun though, to start things off with, and Frenzy actually gonna come out on top. Trinity able to get away as well, takes a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter. It still gives them the numerical advantage. And now the backup has arrived as well. You got 3 players on this site. Sure, Garv gets taken down, but still that makes a possibility of a Thirsty much more easier. Breachstone ready to go. The swing off the back of the flash doesn't really connect, but Tony's still able to at least find the trade onto Paradox. Looking to go a little bit further. Both players in the corner stuck though, and they're just gonna be crunched out. Lightning fast, keeping things even, keeping things honest. So 3v3 at the end of it as a fight. Sorry, 2v2 at the end of it as the fight goes down.
Yeah, the position here of DC is going to be really interesting. I don't know if he's been noted towards Defender Spawn just yet. Doesn't look like he has, just looking where the players put in their crosshairs. And maybe this is a chance to open up a 1v1. He doesn't want to reload that Spectre, though, so it is going to be DC. Herd inside of that cage now, going to swing out, and Deadly 10 will land the shot. A very solid attempt, though, GGEZ, I got to say. Got to be happy with that eco. Taking some weapons away, going to make this bonus a little bit weaker.
There's going to be that mid to be split coming in right now. Mid control taken, and I mean, again, all of the angles are being considered right now, but with that tripwire broken, that's once that tripwire gets broken, it's gonna be one less piece of utility available. It is gonna be tricky to get spotted out here. Counter Sova Jones to come in and look at this possible paranoia, and the timing is actually perfect. And off the back of it, a double kill for Paradox. Paradox to open things up right now. DC though on the anchor, able to find some revenge for his fallen teammates. They know exactly where he is, but the problem is they have to be able to shut him down, and he's not enough time for the rotation to come in. Trinity, with 2 kills of his own, it is just going to be the one player. Deadly, he's been deadly in the past, but this time around, not gonna happen, as despite those 2 opening kills, quick strike back from GGEZ.
How many times is DC going to be asked the question, and how many times is he going to have the answer? I mean, playing around this smoke perfectly there, popping in and out on both sides, holding it down, and then didn't push for the 3rd kill, didn't try to go for any wide swing, waited for the team, the trust in his team to get there. The cavalry arrived, and the Cypher stayed alive. 2-1, the defense here on top. That is a huge round for GGEZ to win, and that could be a way for them back into this so they can try and contest in this first half. We know what they can do on attack.
I mean, we've seen their attacking side before, and to be fair, that was the bonus round. Now they've got the full buy. You see the swing coming in from the Neon. At least RBK able to keep his teammates safe, but the trades, as always, are impeccable from the RAD Syndicate. It's just going to be RBK trying to play hard anchor, able to get the first, but gets a little bit greedy, and is immediately punished right now. Upgrades across the board, and a 3v2 on this retake for the side of GGEZ.
Yeah, Lightning Fast is going to have to be careful about Deadly's position here. It looks like they have some sort of an idea. They want to clear it. Got to be very careful. They will do so, and DC will be the one who won against UV. It's all up to Paradox. And it will be Paradox from the high ground to take them down in a 1v2. The Omen did it in Haven and is doing it now on Sunset.
It's over. I have the high ground for Paradox,
enemy
and
remaining.
he closes it out. Of course, his teammates going down, they at least did a little bit of chip damage, but that spray transfer was absolute perfection. The lack of trade really hurting, and that was a round that it seemed like, despite that initial disadvantage, it was going to be a round for GGEZ, but Paradox coming up huge in the clutch, topping the score charts right now, 9-2 on the Omen. Yeah, he warmed up last map, and he is not looking back right now, continuing to put up those numbers. Economy broken now for GGEZ. Only going to be pistols across the board here. They're going to have to work some absolute wonders with it right now, and yeah, once again, you see that slight concession on the A side, try to make sure nobody's going to be pushing, try to get yourself a free kill. But now, a bit of a change of pace, slow down as they look to push and prod to see if they can find one of these kills.
It's been mid and it's been the A site that has been the focus here for the attackers. And when you got a player like DC over to 1v, I don't blame them for avoiding it. But now with the weaker weaponry, they're going to back themselves to take that B site. At least in towards market here. The Paranoia going to be a bit of friendly fire, but it shouldn't matter too much as the defense are now going to need to respond. It's going to be Trinity with the overdrive, but caught with utility in hand that is going to lead to an absolute cleanup here on the B side.
Yeah, the Paranoia backup was perfect there from Paradox. Caught both of these players, tucked away to the corner. Garv was just given a free hand, and despite the stun hitting, he pulls out the shorty instead, decides to make his life easier. A really quick round. I mean, to be fair, I feel bad for DC being wallbanged like that by a Guardian. I mean, yeah, it's gotta hurt, but to be fair, that was a thrifty round, eco round there for the side of GGEZ. They're going to have their full buy coming in. Alt Psychos, though, they are much, much more behind. RVK, the only one close to one of those swing goals that we talked about, Trinity's overdrive, unfortunately doesn't find any impact, but now Tricky has his own ult available. Talking about ultimates, though, it's going to be Trinity to take that early space on, and this time around might be able to even get back in time. However, it's going to be him continuing to drag out here. Definitely finds a trade off the back of that first kill, but yeah, it's still going to be numbers advantage for the side of GGEZ.
Here's where the calm needs to be called for, though, for GGEZ. They know it's been chaotic, but they have the numbers. They can calm it down a little bit here and play as a unit. That's going to be the key, and they will abandon the A side. I love this. Good discipline to come out. This is exactly what was required here from the defenses. It's going to be the RAD Syndicate now, waiting for a mistake, waiting for someone to swing. But if nobody gives anything up here, it's going to be very, very difficult for the RAD Syndicate to win this one. GGEZ just playing for that info. Trinity jiggling around. It's going to be a Rolling Thunder to clear out the site as well. And that is going to lead it to be a 3v4 on the retake.
Yeah, they get the side off the back of the Rolling Thunder, but remember, there's also this flank potential from the Omen. He cycled back towards CT, and oh my god, Deadly actually just slammed down while trying to put the spike down. All of these players are low, but when you peek as a team, that's exactly the advantage. It's all going to come down to Tricky here, but yeah, the firing squad across the board, 3 players, it's just a bit too much to fight, and GGEZ, they find a very convincing defensive round. I mean, that A-main confrontation so far might not have gone their way, but this round, they make it work. 3 players push forward, they've got the stuns, they've got the flashes, they've got Trinity finding those 2 huge opening kills. Remember, he used his overdrive the round before last, and he already has half of it back. That's like a testament to how impactful he was this round.
100% there, but I love the way that they play that discipline, though, because, I mean, it was so chaotic there. You know, you can get lost in the moment at times, and it almost becomes a bit of a team deathmatch where you just keep swinging because everyone's shooting. But to calm it down and to play back was really well done there. As Trinity is trying to get up in the face and give Yuvi a high five. Gets taken out in the end. Lightning Fast will get the trade, and Paradox somehow jumping into a smoke will take down Coley. That's the A side open up. Somehow, some way, the attackers have control.
I don't know what that was. There was a little bit of a misplay, I think, from Trinity there. Goes a bit aggressive, but lightning fast, able to make things a bit more even. 3v3, the flash and the peek off the back of it. Paradox, though, again, just countering things so hard. Gets 3 before he gets finally shut down. It's a 1v2, but there's just no HP and no positioning for DC to try and play off of. And RAD Syndicate, a little bit chaotic compared to the other rounds we've seen, sure, but they get it done in short order. Quick space taken by Garv on A that they convert into a spike plan, while Paradox puts the pressure on mid. And the fact that I don't know how the heck Paradox got that kill on Coley, caught in a tripwire, everything happening right there. But yeah, Paradox with the 3K in the round once again, 13-4. Yeah, he's not slowing down at all.
You're right. Can you buff my agent again?
Right
Can you
there.
Cypher his trip eyes back? Thanks.
there.
That'd be nice. But anyway, 5-2 is the score. The RAD Syndicate looking dominant here on attack, which is what we expected here out of them. 5-2 currently in the lead, and it's another Thrifty that's coming through here for GGEZ. But again, they have to give up so much space. The range is not going to suit this weaponry, and it's going to be a very, very tough retake.
I mean, they have the Rolling Thunder. If they can find that first early kill, that even if they are eco, that might be enough of an impetus to try and push it forward. Nice little paranoia, but Tricky there for the swing. Takes down Trinity, gets 2 in fact before he gets shut down. Deadly, of course, gonna be caught out by the recon, but they don't really have any weapons that can spam him down. No Guardians or Sheriffs are close by to be able to get the kill off the back of that 4v3 situation right now. Advantage in every form for RAD Syndicate, and they're happy to convert off the back of it, swinging with all the confidence in the world. Paradox and UV, we talked about them before on Haven. They were the trendsetters there. 60, almost 50 kills between both of them, and it was like a game that was barely like not even 20 rounds, and they managed to find like 50 kills between them, along with about 25-30 assists. So yeah, they're not slowing down at all. Paradox 14-4. Finally, a timeout going to be called by GGEZ here. The problem is, I think it might just be a little late the way that RAD Syndicate are dominating this attacking side.
Yeah, but like I was saying, if they can get 4 rounds here, you just give them a chance here, because we know how good they also can be on attack. Last time they played this map, they did only find the 2 rounds. They still managed to get to 11 on attack. So if they can find a way to contest this space a little bit better and just have it work once or twice off these timeouts, that's going to give them a massive advantage heading into the second half. And that's kind of the thing about Sunset. A lot of people always like to talk about attack side of maps, defense side of maps. I feel like Sunset is one of those maps which isn't really either. It's about who can take space better, whether it be attack or defense. As defense, you cannot play behind those spawn barriers. You have to contest A main or mid or B main. You got to do one of the 3, and you've got to do it very effectively. On the other side, when you're playing a bit more passive, you play the retake and you take the space again as a team later on. And I think that is kind of what's missing a lot, especially in this tournament so far. I've seen defense struggling a lot because rather than taking space, they're kind of just trying to commit into fights behind the spawn barriers, and you just get overwhelmed too easily.
I'm out of here.
Oh, well.
Here.
Last player
Yeah, I
standing.
think you're...
Oh, there we go. 20 seconds in the round, and I was gonna say that it was a 5v2, and in the end of it, it's been almost flawless off the back. It is a flawless off the back of that timeout. Really, I don't know, really good recovery, I would say. And I think that the fact of the matter is the consistent pressure on each side, they came prepared for it. Trinity was ready to counter it, but the fact was that there was only the sniper kind of hanging around, and I don't think poor UV was prepared for the stun and the flash and everything being thrown at him right there. Him being shut down opens up all the other lanes, and of course RBK heroics to come in from CT there towards the end.
Right there.
Yep, 100% there. So defense, they managed to get themselves a trick. There is another contest into what they made. Trinity is going to get shut down this time as Coley goes in for the trade. Lightning fast, not checking tiles. Also punished. And as quick as it begins, it's all over. 4v1 in the first 10 seconds of the round, and DC is going to be left with it all to do.
Spike
But
planted.
I mean, he's just been caught by the spy cam. It's just over. Like, I mean, listen, I love what he's been doing in the clutches, but this is just impossible.
Yeah, impossible is the word, the 1v4, and yeah, I don't even think they have the economy to try and go for a DC. Perhaps could try to find some exits, but in terms of a retake, yeah, pretty impossible. Not even going to be allowed to save. Deadly, it just expects the angle, walks in with perfect crosshair placement, and gets the headshot. Again, RAD Syndicate, they might have lost the previous round, but they're starting to recover right now. But I mean, in support of GGEZ here, they're already doing much better than they were the last time they played RAD Syndicate. Last time it was a 10-2 half. They're already, yeah, they have a chance at a 7-5 or an 8-4, which is what you wanted to see coming in from them. So if they can get one more round, like you said, things gonna look much better. Unless, of course, RAD Syndicate have been able to plug those holes. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We still have 2 more rounds left in this half. looking at the ultimates here, a couple of really huge retake ones available for GGEZ, so perhaps we'll see a little bit more of passive gameplay to perhaps come through here. Already though, off angle being held by the Neon, and a lot of noise being made towards A right now. Beautiful paranoia though. That's gonna let Garb get that completely free kill. Almost just a second. RBK finds one, but yeah, Trinity towards elbow has to be the difference maker right now. After shots to clear him out, he's able to get out safely, takes a little bit of chip, but still keeps things at a 3v3.
Yeah, 3v3 indeed, and I believe the paranoia is still online for them, so the Omen is going to be huge here with the abilities coming through. Trinity using that overdrive to try and get into the side. Will find one, not quite the second. Paradox on the high ground is able to find yet another one. It's down to a 1v1 as Lightning Fast gets taken out. Deadly using the Rolling Thunder beautifully, and that is going to be 8-3 on the half. I gotta say again though, just a very, very passive hold on that A side.
You know, that was such a beautiful gauge to come in from the defense. The problem was that I feel like it helped him more than anything because of the Rolling Thunder. He's able to see the poor Omen caught in the barrage and just shoots him out of the air. Skeet shooting practice for Deadly. Nothing new, I would say. And yeah, 8 rounds for the RAD Syndicate. Possibility of a 9th. They know that this A side is juicy and vulnerable, and they are happy to try and hit it again. RBK does have a Rolling Thunder of his own to try and counter it if they are trying to get into side, because so far the retakes just haven't been going in favor on this A side. Post plan is just looking too damn good right now, and UV already with the deep lurk towards mid might be able to find the positioning on this Neon. The fast lane saves him though, and UV looking to find the impact on the lurk, gets caught in the stun. So he's gonna be first blood going in favor, but look at this already. You have the push to come through from the attacking side. The flank though, it's gonna be all 3 remaining players on the flank here. And let's see what they can really do. Unfortunately though, Trinity just caught out in the open. This push and pull across the map, it just seems so difficult. And yeah, 2v1 DC, 1v3 rather. DC has been incredible before, but they know exactly where he is. How much can he really fight? The answer is absolutely nothing. A second massive round coming in from Deadly. And you know what I noticed, K-Man? This Hunter's Fury has been online since round number 3. Either Tricky died before he could use it, or he didn't need to use it. That was the state of affairs of this half, and a 9-3 makes perfect sense.
I gotta say, I saw that little smoke from Deadly there when he got that little wallbang spam. Knew that was a cheeky one to get away with, but yeah, 9-3. So I mean, look, an improvement, I guess you can say, on what happened last time, but this is devastating for them. Considering what happened, you cast your mind back to map 1, right? The marathon quadruple OT 17-15 to then just get shut out of the game on Haven and be down 6 rounds here on Sunset. It's got to be very, very difficult for the mental here for these players. And I got to say that last round, I'm a little bit perplexed as to why the Neon has rotated away from the Rolling Thunder. That Neon is so crucial to roll off the back of that breach utility, and it wasn't quite utilized. We'll see if they can recover in this next half, though.
I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but we'll say it again. Flawless pistol so far from RAD Syndicate. Let's see if they can maintain the streak already. It seems like they want to with Deadly taking down DC. Again, we talked about this on Haven as well. His lurks are being caught out so early right now. Lightning Fast forced to fall back. Deadly with yet another kill before being shut down here. 3 out of 9 on the breach ult. Exactly what you want to see. And Tricky still holding down this mid line aggressively. Spots out a couple of players, gonna be falling back now that they have a numerical advantage, and there's so much territory that GGEZ have to re-clear here because of the fact that Deadly basically got into their spawn for free. They're gonna have to play a little bit slower. They're gonna have to take up the space again and then decide where they want to go. The clock is also ticking here, K-Man. Half the timer is already wound down, and yeah, they don't really have anything to show for it. That's the worst part.
Yeah, there's really not much. They're gonna go towards top mid. This is the only sort of space they have, but still, numbers disadvantage here. They're going to play a 2-2 split, and we're going to see the smoke coming out here from the attackers. A footstep made, but I don't think it was heard as the defense have pushed so deep. And this is what I mean about taking space here on this map. The defense now have all of main to contest. They know that all 3 players are going to be towards the site now, and they have them surrounded here with the numbers advantage.
Timing could be everything though, and unfortunately the Omen not able to find the kill. Garb though, and along with Tricky, they are the ones to find the damage. The 1v3 for Lightning Fast, I mean, he's been incredible before, able to get the first one. The problem is he's insanely low here. That chalk dart almost taking him out right there, and then Ruby tapping the spike. 3 players left to find, but yeah, jumping classic to close things out here. A little bit of teabag too. I mean, to be fair, if you win 6 out of 6 pistols and you're at a scoreline of 10-3, you're gonna be happy and doing the same thing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that is a very, very big pistol round to lose there. GGEZ looking in dire straits now. I don't know how they're going to recover from this one. 10-3 is the score. The RAD Syndicate looking insane across the board. I mean, you're looking at Paradox here. Could definitely be contested player of the series after his performance on Haven, backing it up with an 18-6 here on Sunset so far after 13 rounds. Just playing some phenomenal Valorant here on the Omen. And it really is just telling. I mean, if you're looking at the other side of things here on the assists, obviously you do have Coley there, no assist there. So that's Sober not quite finding the value to help out the rest of the team. And it is a telling factor at the moment, as it looks like the RAD Syndicate are just picking them apart.
Taken to pieces. I mean, there's a little bit of hope. They were able to get the spike plant down, so it's going to be a full buy, but oh no, the kill trip from UV in perfect position. Paradox on the swing off the back of that first kill as well. Already making it a 2v3. Remember, this isn't an eco. This is a full buy coming in for the side of GGEZ, and they can't afford to lose players like that. RBK and I think Foss trying to hold down this crossfire, but it's just not going to work out. A flawless retake for the side of RAD Syndicate. And yeah, GGEZ, I don't know what hope they have left in this game. Their economy is broken. I don't know if they're going to go in for another force here, or if they're going to, you know, go for an eco and hope they can get a thrifty, or maybe play for overtime. But 11-3, I mean, sure, teams have come back from this before, but the way that RAD Syndicate is playing right now, they're not really leaving any holes. And I think we can really see that they managed to plug in a lot of problems that they had on their defensive side the last time around. You mentioned it, K-Man, and I think that their adaptation today has been really good.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a pass mark here. And I think that it's just how proactive they've been as well, because in previous matches, they've kind of just waited for the attack to come to them. You've got to get onto those sight lines, be a little bit proactive here. Obviously, against the Thrifties is a different story, because you do obviously want to, you know, get some sort of control on these deeper lines. You don't really want to push up into these classics, get right-clicked and give over a rifle. So understandable to play a bit more passive here, but this is also why this map can favor the attackers, right? Because you're on these thrifty rounds, you know the defense is going to hang back. You can get up in the face of your opponents, and that is big, as Garb is going to be revealed with that Bucky. So they go through main. Instead, they completely avoid the space in towards elbow.
Oh, no.
It forces Garb to go into a bad spot, and this is exactly why the attackers on thrifties are so dangerous on this map.
100%, and I mean, they forced again in this round. They couldn't really afford to go in for the eco buy here. Oh god, though, that you don't want to plant it there when you don't have CT control, and that might be the mistake that could let RAD Syndicate get back into this round, despite it being a 3v4. It's 2 sheriffs and 2 Spectres versus this Outlaw, and whatever weaponry is left in the hands of Paradox and UV. I think that the Paranoia is also prepped and ready to go. There's that flash from RBK, though. That could be the difference maker. And between GC, RBK, and Lightning Fast, they converge in perfect accord. Finally, a little bit of the coordination that was missing to get themselves their first round on attack. It got a little bit dicey, sure, but they're able to keep 3 or 4 players alive, 3 players alive by the end of it. So that's definitely going to help them in starting to build up the economy. But remember, that was the bonus round for RAD Syndicate. Now they're going to be having their full buy.
Yeah, but I got to say, for, you know, for any of you GGEZ fans in the chat, you want a bit of hopium, DC's got an Outlaw, a scoped weapon for DC. That is dangerous. That is a threat no matter what. So we could see potentially a little bit of a fight back here, but it's going to be this setup here into A main, which I like to see. It's the breach fault line with the neon off the back of it, and you can see what value that's going to get. Couple of picks going the way of the defense, and look at the space they take. I mean, it's all about space taking here, and I'll tell you what, I don't know what Trinity's done to this team. They seem to think he's a threat even when he's a corpse.
Yeah, it's, I mean, why not a little bit of competitive crouching to celebrate. DC and Goalie, though, they suddenly get a little bit of hope back. We talked about DC with the Outlaw, able to find the first one. Needs to get at least a couple more, though, to make things work out here. Paradox with the TP across. It is going to be one player spotted out by the drone here. They know where Tricky is, and both these players trying to hold together the crossfire. There aren't any flashes or utility available, but just shots have to come through here. Outlaw goes wide. That's not a good sign. Garb finds the first, and Garb finds the second. RAD Syndicate, they make this retake look absolutely easy, and they get it done. And to build on your point, K, came out, about that A proactivity. I mean, it was just beautifully coordinated. The fall line, the paranoia. I think the paranoia did end up hitting Garv as well, but it's okay. He was up in their face anyway. It didn't really make a big difference. But yeah, Fortunity just caught between a rock and a hard place, squished dry, and well, RAD Syndicate map and series point, 8-round deficit here for GGEZ that they have to come back on, and it's gonna have to be a quite long road.
It's just the fundamentals of Sunset. Like I said, you have to contest space. If you don't, you get punished. We saw that in the first half. The RAD Syndicate did it excellently, and we're seeing it here in the second half. I mean, A main is just being absolutely overrun here, and GGEZ have no answer to it, so they're going to make light work of it here again. Here, the RAD Syndicate are going to take the space towards A, and there's no contesting towards mid. Instead, they're going to hang back. They're going to wait for Garv to go up isolated, and they will actually be able to retake this space now. So a little bit of an overextension from the Neon is punished, and that will give the advantage to GGEZ. But can they do anything with this space?
And they have to convert off the back of it. That's kind of the problem. The nice thing is that there aren't really any ultimates available here for the side of RAD Syndicate, so they should be able to find something off the back of it if they have the timing correctly. But Tricky able to swing. Paranoia still in the hands of Paradox right now. Sure, he gets blinded, but he throws down a counter. Ultra Furious from Cody actually going to be able to buy space for Lightning Fast to find these kills. But now it's a 1v1 at the end of it. They know where Cody is, but he's able to close things out with the Stinger despite the flash coming through from Deadly. Oh, it got so dicey towards the end of it, but GGEZ stay alive.
Stay alive is exactly all they can do at the moment. And here's another moment, to be honest with you, that I think that the defense here of the RAD Syndicate can really be aware of as the timeout is going to come in. They're going to know the economy state of their opponents, only being able to afford those half armors. I'd love to see just one outlaw. I know I keep pressing on the matter, but I really would love to see just even one outlaw. Just put it in a position, maybe a bit unorthodox. Maybe walk down mid with it, try to find an isolated pick on a lurk. That could be the difference that is needed here. So I'm not too sure who's called this tack timeout, but it is going to be a crucial minute for both teams to try and settle the nerves. RAD Syndicate, they know about pressure. They are one round away from going back to that grand final. But GGEZ, I mean, you know, they can't be thinking about where it all went wrong, right? They've got to be thinking about the next round. They've got to be thinking, okay, how are we going to individually build up these rounds, build up our ultimates for a big hit, but still leave enough in the tank to finish off this comeback? Oh, I think your microphone may have cut out again there.
Yeah,
there we go.
Sorry about that.
We're back.
I don't know why it keeps happening, man. I think my mic is just stunned by the level of gameplay coming out of RAD Syndicate that it just goes quiet by itself. But jokes apart, I think you said it perfectly. It has to be round by round. They can't think about what went wrong. They have to think about what they need to do next. And hopefully after the timeout, they have a better idea. Once again, this A pressure, it's coming through perfectly along with the mid pressure as well. This time though, Trinity ready for the peak and not able to come out on top. It is a bit of an eco round for the side of RAD Syndicate, and with these pistols not able to find too much on this defense. Both of these pushes have been caught out so far. Meanwhile, no noise being made across the map. They do spot the crossover from mid towards B, I think. Only UV home on this B site. He's being surrounded on all sides by enemies here, and yeah, takes out his cam. Photo finish moment for Lightning Fast. Just gonna be 2 players left alive. Make that one. Tricky, I don't know. I mean, he's been good before, he's had impact before, but just a sheriff in hand, not even a rifle he can pick up. This is looking like it's probably going to be a flawless here.
I mean, the objective here has to be kills here for Tricky, not necessarily the round win. We'll get one, it's decent. Any damage to the economy is going to be huge, right? Anytime that they're in a position like that, the RAD Syndicate, depending on how many more rounds it lasts in this match, anytime that you get yourself into a 1vx scenario, go for kills. Don't save, go for kills. Take the economy out of the game. That is the best way to slow down GGEZ's momentum. And look, getting one pick there, it's going to do a little bit of damage to it. Not much, but I mean, it really is going to help. Every little bit of damage dealt by the RAD Syndicate when it's not a round win is going to contribute to them getting across the line. But here it is, rifles back online for the defense. Can they close it out here?
Big questions to ask. I mean, they break the camera. The recon does spot out a couple of players. It forces the defenders back, so that's main space garnered right now towards B. I think here the problem is that there's a lot of ultimates online for GGEZ and nothing really to counter it for RAD Syndicate. They could get themselves a Hunter's Fury, but the retake ult's looking incredibly strong here. They've got the overdrive on Trinity. The attack ult's looking incredibly strong here. They've got the overdrive on Trinity as well as the rolling thunder if it comes down to it, which could also be used in the post plants as well. A little bit of mid concession coming in. The spam though, okay, Deadly. That's just absolutely ballistic. Coley gets shut down completely. That's your info initiator. Take it out too.
I mean, Coley's been having a very rough game, and it looks like it's not going to get any easier for the Sova there. As we're seeing a contest in towards mid, splitting in towards that B site. The overdrive needs to be used because Trinity was caught trying to reload in that situation.
Oh, wow.
We'll find the 2 kills though, opening things up. Absolutely huge as Yubi is getting surrounded, isolated by a jumping Neon. And the 3K for Trinity is exactly what this team needed, but can Garb clutch it?
Individual heroics, we talked about it before, and GGEZ, they've been incredible at it before, but now Garb, even if he can get one more kill, like you said, all of these rounds have been pretty expensive so far for the side of GGEZ. Every weapon down is going to be a hurt to their economy, but Trinity wraps up the round with the 4K. That was definitely a neon diff in that one, and that overdrive came in so clutch. We were talking about the attacking ults in the beginning there, K-Man, and the combination of the overdrive, finding those 2 opening kills, as well as the rolling thunder to make sure that the Cypher towards backside isn't able to play off of those kill trips that we've seen UV use so effectively before. And yeah, off the back of that, Trinity able to close things out. A much needed boost of confidence. To be fair, he has been playing out of his mind. The current top fragger in terms of frags in this lobby, 22 kills. The rest of the team though needs to buck up a little bit. He needs some help. It's just 5 rounds now. Suddenly looks much more doable.
I mean, we've seen this so many times with GGEZ, right? It's just been the one player standing up. There needs to be more behind it. Can they lift in this situation? That shock dart landed directly on Paradox, so maybe that's a bit of good fortune that can start go the way of this attacking side. That's exactly what they need. Just little things like that can build up a bit of momentum. 12-7 the score. Still 5 rounds needed for overtime. RAD Syndicate going to try and do a bit of a gamble stack up towards that B main area, but as soon as that drone is heard, they immediately know the hit's going towards A and they're going to rotate.
Ooh. Well, either way, I mean, the rotation.
Fake.
Yeah, it's just noise being cut despite that initial A push, and they're starting to fall back towards mid instead. They know that the economy is a little bit weaker here for the side of RAD Syndicate, and this is a round that if they convert will definitely give them a little bit more hope right now. Trip, no one to play off the back of it, unfortunately. It's just going to be the Neon. Push towards CT, and it's going to be UV to take him out here. The off angle with the Sheriff, perfect. Off the back of it, they're looking to convert into A side, but the Neural Theft is available. Nice little play from DC to make sure that the rifle is out of range for these players of Paradox. Look at this TP. Dangerous play here. Rolling Thunder as well to come in. Paradox able to find the first one off the back of that Sheriff. Looking to get that second as well. Holy Hunter's Fury just caught in the open. And now counter Hunter's Fury to come through. Finally, they shut down Paradox. The problem here is the time on the clock. They have to get the spike down. They managed to do it in good regard. And now it's just going to be deadly in a 1v3. Well, the angle's being washed. A triple firing squad to come through. And okay, it looks a little bit dicey with Paradox getting 2 there, but they managed to pull it down.
Heroics from DC yet again coming out with a massive 3 picks. That was getting very dicey. It was all down to time. 10 seconds left when the plant was going in. And DC manages to find the headshots. The Cypher keeps it alive. And this is another round on the board. It's 12-8 now. And look, obviously a lot of these multi-frags is also going to help out with the economy. Being able to buy it back, players, teammates, able to get some rifles back in. You can see RBK build up to 6,500 now. And this is where you can start to see the momentum roll on. As we are going to see Garv solo with this operator. Looking for the space here on this B site. We'll try to escape, and it's great cover from UV to get the pick.
Nice little swing there off the back of the Neon. Garb still not able to connect the op shot, but keeping the pressure up. And now that they know that there's at least 3 or 4 players on the side of the map, it's going to be a quick rotation over back towards ACT. But Tricky is going to be the one ready for it. He knows right now that the rotation is probably coming in towards A side, and he can immediately see the counter rotation coming in from RAD Syndicate. They're all coming through CT, no flanks, no extra space to come in. But yeah, 1 minute left on the clock. They still have to clear both main and elbow.
I like they still commit to the rotate, though. A lot of teams in that situation are going to try and fake and go back. But the stack is still on that B side, and RAD Syndicate are trying to call the bluff of GGEZ, going, nah, you're not really going to this A side. Even this smoke here, it hasn't quite convinced them. They're going to start going now because the noise has well and truly been cut in B main, and that drone is going to confirm the presence. So this is what it comes down to, a 5v4 retake. Do GGEZ have another big performance in them?
Let's see. I mean, I think Fast playing a very aggressive angle has to be able to win out this duel against Paradox. Not able to do so, but Paradox, again, you talked about it before, he could very well be the MVP of the series with that first kill to come through. RBK trying to find something in exchange, but it's just going to be DC to try and step up right now. DC with 3 again on this round, makes it a 2v2 here. Offshore goes right off the back of the flash, looking to find something, anything, but it's not going to happen. RAD Syndicate, they finally are able to close it out 13-8, and they are going to be your second grand finalists, and they're going to be setting up that rematch with
Defenders
It's
win.
Wow, what a performance coming in from them.
It's GGEZ to go down in third. Absolute heartbreak for them. On the other side of things, though, I mean, the RAD Syndicate proving why they were in that upper final, proving that they are one of the top 2 teams in this tournament, and really making things, you know, making things happen there on that last map. Just a dominant first half to come through. As we can see again, the final moments of this map, it was just a little bit of heroic from DC yet again, but it was just, I mean, it just wasn't enough. Simple as that. It was not going to be enough in this matchup. When you're versing a quality team, you also have to be a team in yourself. It can't just be the individual plays coming through that we saw plenty of. Obviously, map 1 was a phenomenal solo performance, but after that, there just wasn't enough backing him up.
I mean, even map 1, it was so close, it was dicey, and you had like that 35 bomb basically coming out of DC on that map, which made it look, and even with the 35 bomb, right, it was a multiple overtime game. So yeah, just map 2 and 3 were completely under the, well, under the control, I would say, of RAD Syndicate, and they looked very, very convincing. I think GGEZ opting to let their opponent start on attack might have been a little bit of a mistake. You said it before it came out, and I'll completely agree with you. They think they had to kind of find that initial advantage because they looked so much better on this attacking side. If they had been the ones to start off and have an early lead, it might have been the difference maker. But yeah, I mean, shout out to RAD Syndicate. Great gameplay, great shots, and of course, 6 out of 6 pistols. That's definitely going to help you, sure.
Yeah, you're not really going to lose the series when you don't lose the pistol. I mean, that is absolutely true. We're going to head into our team summary now for the last time tonight, just to see how the match went, how the teams stacked up against each other. We'll have those stats coming to you in just a second, and then we will get, obviously, our individual performances and MVPs just after that. But Sunset ended 13-8, a pretty comprehensive victory there. And I mean, RAD Syndicate, they dominated early in the rounds. They, you know, they isolated picks. Their retakes were a little bit shaky there for a little bit of time in that second half, but they got it done in the end with a very handy retake. 14-7 on the first bloods, 8-7 on the post plants, and 2-1 on the clutches. Just every single stat they were ahead in.
The most insane thing is that this is the first map where RAD Syndicate are ahead in terms of first kills, because map number 1 was dead tied, and map number 2, despite how much of a brutal loss it was, GGEZ were actually up in terms of those first kills. So that's kind of wild to me. Of course, post plans looking pretty close here. I think that could also be because RAD Syndicate were often just killing everybody before they even got the fight down on the attacking side, so that could be a factor. But yeah, anyway, let's take a look at the leaderboards to see how the scoreboard is shaping up here. I think you mentioned it there, a little bit of a rough game for Tricky. I think that towards the end, at least he was able, sorry, a little bit of a rough game for Coley. At least towards the end, he was able to find some assists. But yeah, he had 0 assists for like about 75% of the map. So yeah, just Sova not having the impact that you'd like. But on the other side, I mean, you said it, Paradox, absolute beast, whether he's on the breach, whether he's on the omen. I mean, you can kind of tell that he used to be a duelist player from the kind of plays that he makes sometimes. This guy used to main Neon, for the record. So yeah, I mean, whatever you put him on, he continues to be an absolute insane player.
Yeah, I mean, look, and Deadly as well coming through there, playing multiple roles, also the Initiator and the Sentinel. So a real team effort there. Garb, you know, may not have had the fragging power, but the presence of the Neon, I think, disrupted so much of what GGEZ were trying to do in that match. So it was really, really well done. A great team performance. And yeah, I've got to say, we're going to move on to our MVP as well, just to find out who came out on top in this match, just on an individual level. And it'll be close between Trinity and Paradox there. I'm looking at the top. Very, very even on the frags, but I'll tell you what, if you are a part of the RAD Syndicate, you're going to be happy with the 2-1 victory. The series victory is going to be what's most important.
100%, yeah. And I mean, in terms of the raw power, I think Trinity is actually ahead in the stat board. Has more ACS, has more first skills, has more damage, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, he was definitely individually such a force, but yeah, like you mentioned, it has to be a team effort. And unfortunately, for the side of GGEZ, it just really didn't seem like it was there, this map. I mean, I think we saw some great moments coming in from RBK. We saw some great moments coming in from DC, especially in that second half. But yeah, the coordination, you can't depend on individual heroics every single round to win you the round. And I think that was the biggest difference maker on this map between RAD Syndicate and GGEZ. RAD Syndicate were just playing as a team throughout, even if, you know, one of them might not have had the frags, the other did. A little bit of a consolation prize if you're a GGEZ fan. At least they're going to be walking away with the match MVP here. We talked about it. He was higher in terms of the damage and the first kills, and I think in terms of impact as well, when it comes to doing that damage for his team. But yeah, it's bittersweet. At least you're going to be able to say, hey, I did my best. But yeah, if you're a RAD Syndicate fan, you have to be so hyped for that final tomorrow, because it's a rematch of that upper bracket. Last time It's Me Vico came out on top, but now they're going to be tested in a best of 5 here, K-Man. And I'm really excited to see how that game is going to shape up.
Yeah, so am I. I mean, this is just, it's the pinnacle of, it's a grand final, right? It's called a grand final because it is the absolute top of the top, and I'm so excited for it there. But GGEZ, I mean, they got to be spewing to take that first map in the style that they did, to then just not be able to come back in and win another one. I mean, they kind of ran out of steam, I suppose you can say, towards the end, and that battle of attrition, I mean, they won the battle and lost the war, I guess. That's kind of the best way to sum that up. And I mean, full credit to the RAD Syndicate, though. Just composure, quality throughout the entire series, fought hard. They made their opponents win a quadruple OT just to even get a map on the board, and that just shows how much this team will fight. They will not give up, they will not give in, and when it's their turn to start putting the pressure on, they do not let up. So we are going to go to our interview now, as it is going to be the one and only Paradox, my personal MVP of the series. Paradox,
hello.
Mate, listen, map 1, there was a lot going on. Map 2 and 3, you came alive and dominated with the rest of your team. You've got to be happy with that performance.
Exactly, I'm very much happy with the team, like with the performance with my team kept on, because honestly we don't practice as a team. We are just like a bunch of friends. We don't play rank together, except for Gav and UV. They are like proper duo system. But about the others, like everyone's full-time college people, so no one honestly grinds the game that much except for a few of us. But still, I rely on individual presence and, you know, the chemistry which we have as friends, because we used to play together before, although we never practiced as a team. In fact, this is our first time we are playing with the same lineup in this event, like in our whole careers, I would say. So I'm pretty much happy with my team's performance.
So I wanted to ask you, individually, you had some really great moments, and I think that in terms of, you guys say you don't play together often, but your coordination on that A site on both map 2 and map 3 were insane. So like, how do you kind of prepare for that? Do you just say like, hey, I'm gonna stun, I'm gonna flash, you're gonna push, like that?
Yeah, exactly. Like we have like a preset call, seeing that guys, if they're coming towards you, like obviously we comment Hindi, but we have a preset call, like if the guys are coming towards you, we are just going to flood out, and we just call the like stats, the peaking angles, the positions which we are keeping on the fly. Like everything's on the fly, because honestly no one, I know for a fact, in my team no one would practice for like anything. Honestly, right now, everyone's like, "Arey yaar, mere exam hai." Like I have my exams, I have my internals, I have my this, I have my that, and no one would show up. But I know for a fact, like everyone's talented individually, as well as they have played in good teams before. So everyone has that team experience. So that's the thing which helps us a lot.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, you know, on Sunset especially, you guys look much improved there, especially on your defense. Obviously, your attack has been phenomenal and has been for the whole tournament, but obviously that defense there, being able to contest that A main space especially was something that I found really impressive with you guys, being able to shut down your opponents. Obviously, there was a little bit of a fight back from your opponents today towards the dying stages of the match, but just being able to close out that series. How important is that for you guys for the mental side of things to be on top and not let them back in? Obviously, going to be a really, really important skill set for you in the grand final.
Exactly, because we have faced GGEZ in the past before, and it's the same map Sunset. It's the same scoreline as well, 12-4. We were leading, and then they came back all the way to have a fake comeback because in the end we won. So, like, even today, the first like when we reached the scoreline of 12-4, the first from 4 of us was, guys, not again. Just remember, focus. So when we lost that round, I took a timeout, and I'm like, everyone was not even talking in the timeout. I was like, I think so. It was a girl's call, maybe. Just keep yourself muted on Discord. No talking about the game, nothing. 1 minute, just listen to your songs, and everyone come back with fresh mind. And we kind of restarted the game from there, and we won. Because I know for a fact my team is a little bit cocky, you would say, because we know we are individually the best and no one can beat us. So everyone tries to go for that heroic cinematic finish kind of style, and which kind of messes up with our finish. But today, I know everyone was on fire. Like everything what could have went our way. And honestly, we were kind of a bit like, it was a rocky start because we know for a fact that GG is a team and they scrim and they practice daily. So we are like, maybe they'll like prepare a bit for this event. Maybe they want to like try something out. But honestly, we just don't care. We just realized it after the first map that if Karod is the first time which we are playing, I still remember the one fun fact when the veto was happening and Karod was picked. Deadly was like, bro, why did you pick this map? I have never played this game. I have played like twice or thrice Karod in his whole life. And he's like, he just played 3-4 ranks on Karod. And he's like flaming already. Ki kyun khel rahe? Why are we playing this map? Did you guys not ban? That was our comms. So
good.
We had a rocky start over there. But then later on, obviously, we just realized that we are just better players.
Oh,
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, towards the end, it definitely did look like that. There was an individual diff a lot in terms of performance. So, from my side, my last question would be, I don't know if K-Man has more, but my last question would be, you know, tomorrow, grand final day, you're going to be up against It's Me, Vico. Team, also another team that you faced before in that upper bracket. Last time, they knocked you down. So, if you think, now that you're going against them in a best of 5, do you think that's going to give you a little bit of an advantage? And how are you going to, you know, get that revenge?
Honestly, we won't think much because I have seen what happens when we think too much. We'll just play our game, we'll bring our A game, and honestly, we would be even more than happy to defeat them in grand finals because they are one of the best teams in India right now. Although they're playing from another name and they're not playing that kind of like their proper comms.
Yeah.
Although we saw their compound split, it was their proper comp. But still, like we would be more than honored to face them and to defeat them because I just wanted to prove my point to the Indian community, I would say. Sometimes, you know, I can't say it on stream, but still it's fine. It's just that there's no need to be toxic to each other because, you know, everyone's a good player and you should stay in harmony instead of invoking some random shit all around.
You know, just a
I
little
love that
follow-up,
message.
sorry.
No, that reminds me.
What was it called with teabagging, bro?
Yeah, exactly. I knew you were going to ask this about the teabagging. So, if I'm not wrong, Trinity started teabagging UE, if I'm not wrong, UE or Gurf, either of those. So, I know for a fact, like Trinity says he just did it for fun and he wanted to like gain confidence and all. But Gurv and UE are like, no, we are going to teabag this guy. We are just going to get him. So, if like we were on a huge lead and he was still teabagging and everyone in our team was like, you know, all those bantery comic like communication which happens when you are in the lead, and we are like, these guys don't have any shame, they're losing 12-4 and they're teabagging us, let's show them who we are. That kind of thing. Like it's all banter comms, honestly. There are even worse comms from both the sides, I know for a fact. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, look, obviously tomorrow, BO5 coming up, obviously is a little bit of a different sort of stance, a bit more of, you know, a marathon rather than a sprint towards the finish. Do you think that sort of suits your game style? Do you think that you guys are going to have that sort of endurance? I mean, you proved it here already with a very, very long map 1, heading into map 2 and 3, being able to really bring it home. Do you think that sort of experience, I know that, you know, obviously it's not a full serious, you know, you guys drilling and scrimming and everything, but at least having that belief that you can go the distance on a long series, it's got to be good for your mental.
Yep, exactly. I would say we have the endurance to last 5 series and in fact OT in every single one of them.
Oh, damn.
But I'm pretty sure that we lack resiliency because we don't know how to close the games yet. So tomorrow is the test of time. I would say that
Okay.
it's our written exam tomorrow, like the end sem exam.
Yeah.
We are going to give our end semester exam. It's the grand finals, and obviously it's going to be a BO5. And I know that they are going to put up a huge fight to us, and we are also coming with our A game.
I'm
Yeah.
really excited. Yeah, I just wanted to say I love your room, by the way. The background is insane.
Yes, thank you.
Well, Paradox,
It's too messy
congratulations.
right now. Just a boys' room.
You have to see my room. Mine is even worse. So if it makes you feel any better.
Yeah, well, Paradox, congratulations on the win. Go celebrate your team, but not too hard, obviously. You got a big
Thank you.
game tomorrow, but yeah, enjoy the win. Have a great night, mate, and we will see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. Ladies
Wow.
and gentlemen, that was Paradox there on the winning team for the RAD Syndicate. Absolutely phenomenal game coming out from him. I mean, like I said, MVP of the series, in my opinion, just had impact in that map 2 and 3. Was the difference maker in so many of those periods. But, I mean, it was a real team effort coming through from the RAD
True.
Syndicate as a whole. GGEZ. I mean, look, the consolation prize money, I'm sure they'll take, but they would have loved to have completed that revenge and got themselves that fairy tale finish in the grand final. But unfortunately, unable to do it. Zach, any closing words, any closing thoughts on this series?
I mean, you know, one thing that I find really exciting about this is that both the teams in the grand final are teams that are playing for the vibes. To be fair, you know, for It's Me Vico, at least they're used to playing together as a team. They're just kind of messing around because they want to hide strats for their upcoming international tournament. But yeah, they're not playing seriously. They said like, yeah, we're playing as a 5-stack, we're playing for fun, and it's the same vibe coming out of this team as well. And it's really telling that these are the two teams in the final. Like, yes, of course, individual performance and being able to frag matters, but I feel like these are the two teams that are having the most fun, and it makes me really happy that that's going to be the grand final that we're getting tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see, like, you know, which team is going to be having the most fun and which team is going to be lifting up the trophy and whether they'll be, you know, mutually inclusive, you know. But yeah, I think overall today was an excellent series. I had a lot of fun casting with you as always, K-Man, and that map number 1, I mean, it made it seem like it was gonna be a long haul, but yeah, Paradox and Co just said, nah, map 2 and 3, we're gonna make it fast so we can go and I don't know, study for semesters or something. Everyone seems like wrapped up with college, so yeah, I mean, that was such
Can't
a beautiful
relate.
game today. Yeah, we're too
Well,
old.
look, it is going to be the RAD Syndicate returning to the grand final, going up against It's Me Vico. That is coming to your screens tomorrow. A best of 5 for the ages, and it is not just for the prize money. They're playing for pride. They want to get that revenge. So that is going to be it for today's stream. I've been K-Man. Zach, Carsten with you. A pleasure as always. This has been the Ascend Breakpoint Championship, brought to you by Reloader as well. Shout out to the sponsors. Make sure to drop a like on the stream if you enjoyed the action. Make sure to subscribe because the action is still going to be coming your way. Tune in tomorrow to see who is going to be crowned as the Ascend Breakpoint Champion.
Free.